All right.
About darn time.
So, did you guys all see the trailer or like the preview for the new King of the Hill series?
Hell no, I didn't.
It looks fucking good.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I was like, you gonna pop it up on the screen or?
I can.
I would say not just the video they showed before it.
Where's my Coke? Right there.
Oh, that's a deep shot glass.
Because I seen the introduction video, but they have like an actual trailer. Where like it's funny as fuck. Bobby's all talking about throwing meat on the grill, and Hank's all like, "That ain't ever gonna happen."
Oh, I think I did see that. Yeah,
I'm ready for King of the Hill. I just probably watched like 47 shows right now. It's hard to keep up. You seen Resident
Yeah, that's
Alien?
that one right there. That second one. Yeah.
Oh, the second one it was?
Yeah, this is just the introduction video, I believe.
No,
So they actually-
Bobby. Oh, he's old.
Big ol' handshake.
Bobby, beers don't need to tell stories. They just need a fridge to keep them cold. Nobody likes a warm beer. The end. I'm gonna give you.
Oh my goodness.
That way it gives you something to work towards.
Let me know if you need me to take over, since I'm a professional now.
A professional comedian, if you think I'm gonna let you take over for me.
Yeah.
August 4th, huh?
That's gonna be freaking sweet.
Yeah. Well, apparently Bobby's a cook, so that's why he's like, since I'm a professional now, like he like is a cook somewhere in Arlington or somewhere. But
Arlen.
Arlington?
Arlington's probably a real city though.
It is.
It's also a veteran cemetery. A huge veteran
I didn't know that.
cemetery. Yeah. Trace Adkins did a song about it.
Oh, probably a good ass song.
You know
though.
what? I actually know that one well.
Yeah, it is a fairly old song.
But apparently, like, this doesn't make sense though. Like, there's a big time gap, and apparently Hank and Peggy went to like Saudi Arabia or some shit like that. Like, moved away.
They moved out of the States apparently, and they were living in Saudi Arabia.
It just doesn't make sense to me right there.
This was them moving back to the old house and stuff. So,
Where they are reaching, they had to have been like, look, we ain't got nothing, so we gotta go far to be able to bring it back and make it funny, okay? Like, what?
But
What did they
didn't one
do?
of the main people die, like voice actors?
Johnny Hardwick.
Yeah, and
he voiced Dale. He
Dale.
died, and then dude just got killed not too long ago. The guy that played John Redcorn, he just got killed.
No.
So I wonder if they're
Yeah.
gonna like pick a different voice actor and bring them back still, or if they're just gonna cut them completely and fill it with something else.
I think they said that they have another voice actor for Johnny Hardwick, which surprised me because they said he had some of his stuff done before he died, so he
Okay.
got to like do some of it. So I figured like, okay, maybe they'll just kill him off in the series or something. But then I heard that they have a new voice actor for him, and I'm like, what the fuck's happening?
Let's see what it looks like, because I hate when they change voice actors for shit sometimes.
Yeah.
Like Solar Opposites. And...
You know what's crazy? They did those 2 new seasons of Futurama, right?
I can't wait to catch up on that. Oof.
And the one character they did that to was Elzar. He's the chef. He's he's a blue dude. He's got 4 arms.
I know.
He's like the Iron Chef dude.
Bam!
Yeah, he has a different voice actor, and I hate it. It's just, but he's such an inconsequential character. I get why they fucking just changed his character, but it's so annoying. I hate it.
At least I like in Solar Opposites, they made a reason up why his voice changed instead of just like automatically shifting into a whole new fucking voice, you know?
That shit was crazy.
Yeah, like I like it when they have the story behind it though.
I think it's fair though. At least we're not, hearing some different Fry voice, because I'd revolt. Actually, never
Or
watch
Bender.
it ever again.
Like if Bender had a different voice, like
even Zoidberg, I don't care if I don't hear that in the exact. It needs to be. It sounds exactly like that or nothing. Like
that's the same dude as Fry, right?
Yeah, I knew that dude.
And the professor and Zach Brannigan.
Dude, I just seen a
Billy-
What
small
the
video. I just
heck?
seen a
Yeah.
small video the other day. I
Billy
can't think of
West,
his
he does a
actual
lot of
name,
the
but the dude that
voices.
does
Dude, so if he-
SpongeBob, like the dude that does SpongeBob, he does like 50 other other characters.
Kenny.
Yeah, he does so many. I did not realize like it was just him flipping through his.
It's like a whole animated universe could die with one man's voice
Yeah,
being gone.
dude,
That is
honestly.
wild.
That happened
Like,
in Marvel, you know.
Well, I mean, not in that way, but I get what you're saying.
Like there'll never be another Black Panther like like that dude. Oh, well.
Yeah, I agree. You can pour me. I'll do one more. I'll just do a couple. I gotta fucking work in the morning though, so.
I mean,
It's
I
not
gotta
like-
fucking work.
I
in the
know we're
morning
not in our
too, bruh.
20s anymore, but
Listen, I love doing this. I literally drank for like 8 hours
I do
yesterday.
understand
I
it's an early
started
morning
like
job,
5
and that's
p.m.
what sucks the most.
And I just be taking my little shots, and then when I want to get serious, I get drunk, real drunk for like 2 hours. I take my ibuprofen, drink some water, go to bed, and wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning with my kid or to go to work. Fine as dandies. Okay, so
Yeah, until you get into your 30s and 40s, and it goes right out the window.
I'm already 30. I was like, I just don't be drinking heavy.
To your 30s.
Yeah.
Don't let them fly by as fast as the 20s.
I promise you they won't. I'm so self-aware and present in this time now. I actually feel like, I don't know, like everything is just so slow. Everything is happening at a different pace anymore. I thought things went fast, but now I'm like, I can't catch a break, so actually time has stopped.
It'd be crazy if you can manipulate like your time span. Like, what if like you're choosing your character,
Dude,
and you're
you'd
just
be
like,
like-
oh, I picked 300 years. Like,
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. I always pictured it kind of like Clock Stoppers. You
Oh,
know,
that-
they had the fucking.
but they aged faster once they got out of that time reality. Because when you're
Yeah, because you would just.
That was a
It was
good
kind of
movie.
like Click. You know, you just the time would slow down like that and then just jump forward. I get it, but if you had like a time shield or some like Rick and Morty bullshit to just protect you from that, that would be dope.
Well,
as
technically,
shit.
Rick could never die because every time his actual body dies, he just
One
transfers.
in a different
his,
dimension.
Yeah, he transfers. Like, there's been an episode about it where, like, let's say someone kills Rick, he just transfers his brain
Consciousness?
into consciousness into another Rick body.
Yep.
Like, so
That's wild.
Yeah, but see, that's the shitty part about that is like, you know, it's cool. You're in, but it's like the Orochimaru approach. You're gonna get fucked up. Like, you see how much pain he was in, and he was immortal from swapping bodies like that. That's what I'm saying. I just want the cool, like, magical shield where I can just be me. I don't have to, like, painfully transfer my body or something after I've gotten fucked up. I just want to be
so no effects.
yeah, dude. I want like Kang type shit, man. You could just be like one central me. It's like Shadow Clones. You just got one central you watching everything that goes down.
I just need
And
to be able to
all of
stop
them are-
time.
What if that aged Naruto every time he did the shadow clone? Like, he did 1,000 shadow clones and it ages him by like.
Dude, for real, the Shadow Clone Jutsu was like the only jutsu that he had that didn't like fuck him up over time. Well, I guess the Rasengan didn't, but
I said
Rasen
the better.
Shuriken.
Yeah, the Shuriken fucked up his hands and his body.
you just gotta be able to stop time.
I mean, I don't know. That's how I feel. Like, because then I'd be able to get a bunch of shit done. Like, driving wouldn't take no time. Like, I wouldn't have to deal with that. I could just go and do whatever I want and just, I don't know, you know.
Like
do it.
like having Rick's portal gun. Like,
Yeah,
fuck,
I
fuck
mean,
spending
like-
time in an airplane or in a car. He just fucking.
Yeah.
He still built a spaceship they traveled around in though. Like the very first episode, I'm pretty sure.
What do you mean? Wait, what?
The very first episode of Rick and Morty where he builds a spaceship out of the stuff in the garage or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why even build a spaceship if you can just fucking use your teleport gun to go everywhere?
Oh, 'cause where's the fun in not doing that?
That's true.
Yeah.
Man, to teleport.
To teleport without a device like Jumper, that would be sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was such a good movie. Wow. That's an old
Got
one,
that
too.
movie over there.
Oh, you do.
That's
shit.
You know why I have that movie over there?
What?
Because that is the only movie that I have consistently never been able to sell at
That's
like
surprising.
the exchange. Dude, I've taken it like 4 different times in big batches of like DVDs or
And they just
bullshit.
pull it out.
Yeah,
say,
and
"No, we
they're
don't."
always like, here, well, there's some that we just can't give you any money for, and it's always
There's
always
movies
come
out
back.
there they
Dude.
can't give you money for. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
I did not
That's
know
actually ridiculous. What are you talking about?
because it's so common. Like it's not
that.
like
We
a
have
rare
20
movie.
copies of these
Yeah,
already.
yeah, right. That's basically
Oh,
what
I
they're
see.
saying. It's just not a popular movie.
It's an underrated movie.
A very
definitely.
underrated.
Well, I mean, also now, why have a physical copy of it? Nobody fucking.
You know how they
cares.
have those like worst movies of all time out there, where like supposedly one of the worst.
Snow White.
Well, yeah, I was actually about to bring up Disney. The worst Disney animated movie of all time is supposed to be Treasure Planet, and I don't believe that for
Really?
a second. Yeah,
I always thought I heard people talking good about that movie.
yeah, like people talk good about it, but if you look on Google or some shit like worst Disney movie of all time, like Treasure Planet's like at the top of that list for some fucking stupid reason.
Maybe it's just the most unpopular one.
I don't even see you refilling your shot glass over there when you fucking do it. Well, you just take
It's
it.
already
You
full.
drink it and then automatically it just like.
Oh, 100%. Why do you think, like, I could, yeah, I don't know, like, that's just, I'd refill
No,
it,
cool on this
and then,
one.
like, I just be doing my thing, I'll play a little bit of video games or whatever, and do my thing, and then I just
What
take
if,
another
dude,
shot,
if I could
immediately
have
refill it.
the mug at the end of that Marvel movie where like Doctor Strange just refills fucking Thor's mug full of beer again. He like chugs it down and it's empty, and then fucking Doctor Strange is like, "Woo," and I'd be like, whoa, that would be sweet.
I think that would be dangerous. Now, is it just that glass? Like, can you put anything in it and refill that shit, or is it just like
Just beer.
yeah?
Because what if you get tired of that beer?
Yeah, right.
I picked Busch Light. Like you're like 30 years later. I should have picked something else. Like
Pick a liquor you can always put in a mixer.
no. So younger, growing up, we would ask friends like if you had 3 wishes. You know, what would your 3 wishes be? So when I was first, I got to ask that question when I first started smoking weed, and I came up with the idea of a bud box. Like let's say you open a little small wooden box and it's full of nuggets, and you can just dump it out and then close the lid and then open the lid again, and it just refills with bud.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Unlimited fucking
Oh,
weed
wow.
bud box. Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's a genie wish, you're gonna end up getting like Alan's grandma's weed out of it.
Now, what if it was different weed every time?
Hopefully,
How many times would you get shit weed before you
Yeah,
got that
right.
good?
That's
good?
when you just dump that shit out. It's give it to your friend or something. You're like, bam! Oh fuck yeah, some chronic this time.
I think you gotta like contract up some safeguards for that. Get this genie to sign this fucking piece of paper.
That shit
says
called
he won't
death.
fuck it. Yeah. Cause you can't hear shit.
Wait, speaking of that, because it cracks me the hell up, and I know you watch a lot of anime at least. Y'all seen the show Reborn? Okay, because the fact that they have desperation shots most definitely cracked me up about 1,000,000 times. And it's
It
like
sounds
it's about
familiar.
arcobalenos and these little like mafia babies, like and stuff like that. And then like, but yeah, anyways, this is a really good one. Yeah.
The last good one I seen, something Devin showed me, it was like Fire something.
Fire Force?
Yeah,
I
Fire
watched that
Force.
too! How the hell?
Fire Force is really good.
What?
It's like they're fighting. They're like part of like being a fireman, but they have like special like powers that have to do with fire to put out fire, and they're fighting like fire demons.
It's
Like someone
literally-
will die and turn into a fire demon, and then like they go and fight them.
My boyfriend was like, "You want to watch a firefighter anime?" And then I watch it, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, just like One Piece is a pirate anime. That's how you want to describe this anime to me." And like, I'm like, it was much cheaper
Have
than
you guys
that.
caught up on One Piece at all yet?
No, because we have like 5 episodes or 6 right now to watch, but I definitely love the build
That's caught up.
I love the built up of emotion, I guess. Like, so I'm just waiting for like those 6, 7 episodes, like so is he, so that we can just sit down and binge watch them. Because I hate getting built up in my emotion and then having to be cut. Because watching 3 episodes and then something emotional
I
happens.
felt
and
that
you're
way
in
back
it,
in the day.
You're like,
I felt that way back in the day when I was watching. I was thinking like I was.
That's what kept you coming back in the
Yeah.
day.
No, like I would read the Naruto Shippuden anime online it came out every 2 weeks on the internet, and I'd like get to the end of the chapter and I'd be like, now I gotta fucking wait 2 weeks for the new chapter. And that was before they were making it into an anime too, because they were still back in Naruto, like just doing Naruto episodes.
I mean, I'm
when I was
basically
reading
doing the same
Shippuden.
thing to myself. I'm just making myself wait longer because, like I said, I just love having the whole picture in my head, seeing all the backstory and then the fight and then the crazy shit happens or whatever.
Yeah,
and
but
like
you know how long it takes fucking One Piece to finish an arc? Like
Yeah.
300-400 episodes? Like, I still feel like going halfway through the arc would still piss me off. Like 7,
I'm
8
excited.
episodes.
I like the way I before meeting my boyfriend now said, "Oh, I can't watch 3 episodes or 3 shows at a time." Now I'm pretty sure we're watching, and then I got 2 over at my friend's
So
house.
you broke
plus-
that habit?
No, yeah, I think I have like 7 or 8 shows that I'm watching right now, and that's actually pretty nuts that I can keep up with every single one of them. So binge watching them is a way also to keep the dopamine, because it's like delayed satisfaction, I guess. So I'm like, I'm just
But
like
what if
waiting
you were
and
so
waiting and
hyped about
waiting.
the first one, and then you're on the 3rd or 4th one, and you're sitting there watching, and you're still thinking about the first anime, and it's like pissing you off or some shit. Like,
Yeah.
so you're not even paying attention to the anime. You're
No,
watching.
I don't watch like 2 animes like that. Like if we were sitting down and watching One Piece, it's because we ain't watched nothing all day, and like we're sitting down for dinner and we're like, okay, we're gonna watch these episodes. We're not going from one anime to the next. Absolutely not. My emotions cannot take it, actually. But
That's what I would think. Yeah.
there's just so much. I get involved in my animes. I was like, even if it's like a one that's like low rated, just like my movies, that should be too good. You already took it. I'm sorry, I was talking.
No, you're good. I'd be recommending movies to BK all the time. He's not been on a movie spree lately, so like I'd be recommending movies that come out like 5-6 years ago.
Dude, yeah, I've never been on a movie spree.
Well,
My
I know you're
boyfriend's on a movie
watching
spree
movies
right now. Tell me what you. Tell me.
No, like he hasn't seen Ready Player One yet, and that's been out for like
I'm
5, 6,
shook if,
5,
actually.
6, 7 years, and he would just really like the movie just because it has to do with video gaming. Like, and he's a
I'm
hardcore
sure-
video
I
gamer.
seen a clip of it a couple days ago where he blocks dude's punch with fucking Captain America.
No,
shield.
that's Endgame, or that's a new guy, or
I thought it said it was Ready Player One.
no,
Whoa, the fuck
Sorry.
are you doing? I
that's
don't
the
know.
new guy or something like that. Where it's Ryan Reynolds. Was it Ryan Reynolds in that clip?
I think so. I don't know. I thought it said that was the movie. I could be wrong. But yeah, I don't know, dude. Don't fucking yell at me, man. I just haven't watched it.
Bullshit. This is bullshit. I want results.
There's a lot of movies. Like, I told somebody the other day I've never seen. Oh, what the fuck was it? It was an '80s movie. Dazed and Confused. I ain't never seen that movie.
That's a little shocking too.
Yeah, I ain't
I'm
never
surprised
seen
we haven't
that
seen
movie.
that back in the day. Like,
Well,
I
I
only
know
watched
we
a lot of
had
Cheech
we
and
had, we
Chong.
had it when I lived with Josh. I know I know we had it. But the only movie we watched back then was Taking Woodstock, and that was when we were tripping on acid.
that movie was so true.
I was with Marcos' family, and they said that it's crazy that I've seen the Avatar movies, but I ain't seen all the Train Your Dragon movies. I was like, I love the How to Train Your Dragon show. Like, I watched that, and I love the movies, but, like, Avatar, I guess, just was in my face. I love
Did you
those.
see they're making a live action Train Your Dragon movie?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about it as long as they do it right. You know, like how we've had to bully them into fixing the faces of characters like Sonic and Stitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all better do it right because we will come for you, and they saw that, actually.
I have a theory about that.
Yeah?
I don't think they were ever really gonna fucking.
It was more publicity.
Yeah, I don't think they were ever.
Dang.
I don't think they were ever gonna make Sonic that bullshit face. Like, I think they did it just to kind of see where
Piss
they could
people
go.
off.
Yeah, just like troll people, see how far they could go with stuff. But they did that way too quick to just be like, oh,
It almost
okay.
looked fan made.
Yeah, but they fixed it so quick.
They did. It was like
it
people
was
bitched
it
about
was
it on the
there was
internet.
no
and then-
issue. But you've seen fucking film directors and people be all up in arms over smaller shit. Like, no, we didn't have time to change it. There was no money to change that shit. They had to have had that shit loaded. Like,
Yeah, you're probably right on that one.
yeah, I don't think they
That
ever
came out
really,
like a whole year before. the
Everything's
movie
for
came out, too.
entertainment.
Yeah.
They're losing their touch. They have no creativity anymore, so they got to come up with new things, like pissing off the public to gain publicity for their episodes and their shows.
I'm surprised they haven't come out with a Donkey Kong movie yet.
Oh, just wait. You give them time. You give them time.
No, because Donkey Kong's Nintendo. Nintendo's not about making movies and stuff. We'll see. It might happen because Super Mario, or the
Yeah.
Super Mario movie was good. So now they're going to dabble and they're going to try to do the Legend of Zelda movie.
Well, didn't they have Donkey Kong in that movie? That's why I thought they would maybe make a movie about him.
Oh, yeah, Donkey Kong wasn't that. Yeah, Donkey Kong wasn't that. I mean, they might.
That's why I thought maybe they would make one.
But they're supposed to be making that live-action Legend of Zelda movie.
How long have they been talking about that, though?
Yeah, they just got delayed too. It said till like May 27th or May 7th, 2027 or something like that.
That's 2 years. That's some bullshit.
I don't know, man. I just don't feel like there's not a way to fuck that movie up. I don't think they should try to make a movie out of it. It's stupid.
Like, so they would fuck it up, you mean?
Yeah. I don't think.
Is it going to
there's-
be animated like a
No.
Final Fantasy movie, or is it going to be live action?
It's supposed to be live action.
Are they just not going to have Link talk during the entire
See,
entire movie?
I don't know. I don't know if you can make the movie work without him talking. But if you do make him talk,
That's something they could ruin.
then yeah, like what the fuck is he gonna say? Like, and like how do you?
You need one?
Not right now. I'm just worried about the Legend of Zelda movie.
No, that's the thing though. Like they would have to make Link talk in a movie, and that'd be a very unique movie. I've seen silent films that end up being decent, but they're really short films.
I mean, honestly, you could probably make it into a pretty short film. I mean,
Like there's a couple anime short films that are silent films that Studio Ghibli did, and they were actually decent because it was beautiful animation that went along with like the sound of the music. But if you make a whole movie that's just silent, like that, I guess I kind of did that recently with the whole like not being able to talk. What was that movie called? Because the monsters,
Bird Box.
something like that.
Yeah, with that was the one MGK was in, right?
No, well, I
The
think
blind
that's a
one
movie.
where they're all blindfolded.
Well, there's one where they're blindfolded where they can't see the monster or they'll die. But there's one where if you talk, like they're speaking in sign language in the entire movie.
I thought that was the same movie.
No, it's a different movie because there's two of them. There might be a third one. Quiet Place. I think it's called Quiet Place because there's a game about it. I made it around a video game.
That sounds familiar. I'll look it up.
You guys seen the From? Have you guys seen that show at all? From? It's about this like group of people. You're like anywhere in the world, you could be driving around, and then all of a sudden, every single person that ended up in this place, in this glitch in the Matrix, whatever, they saw a tree in the middle of the road. They could not get past it. Huge ash tree and crows circling you at the top. Well, once you turn around, after you've seen that tree, you're already there. Like, you're already in this town. And once you're in this town,
Genjutsu.
like, once you're in this freaking town, like, there's monsters that come out at night that, like, will try and talk to you, and, like, they'll look all innocent and whatnot, but they're actually, like, super crazy monsters. Like, and people at first got there, like, just had to live. They didn't find the stones that they could hang up in their houses to, like, keep the monsters away. They just literally had to pray and hide, like, for years.
It's like some ancient legend or some shit.
Like, and there's one person who's been there the longest. Literally, like, he was all alone. There was literally nobody there. It was him, his mom, and his sister, but his mom ran out and his sister ran out after him. They both died, and he'd been there alone for years, and then people started showing up finally. Look, it's such a good one. I'll tell you what, it's a good series if you get the chance.
Finally, somebody trapped in this stupid shit with me.
Yeah, right. I would say, do you think if you were stuck somewhere like that, you would be like happy to have somebody there genuinely, or just like happy that you're not the only one suffering anymore?
I mean,
They made
psychologically,
movies about that.
I think it's both. Definitely. I mean, regardless, if you cannot or do not know how to get home. I mean, that boy was a young boy. I'm talking like 7 years old. I mean, like, so obviously part of his brain is like, hell yeah, I'm glad I'm not suffering alone. But at the same time, like,
No, they made a movie. I can think of one movie in particular where there was a spacecraft going to another world and they needed to be in pods for like 140, 200 years or some shit
Stop.
like that.
And one person woke up and he woke another
Yeah,
person up and
ended up
didn't
waking-
tell her
yeah, he
that it wasn't
purposely
an
fucked with, like, he
accident.
seen this hot chick and he was all like, do I do it? Do I do it? And he like fucked with her pod and shit, and then she got pissed. Like
Because he didn't tell her at first that like it wasn't
It was
an
a
accident.
malfunction, yeah.
That like he literally chose for her. Like because all these people were still supposed to be asleep for years. Like they're still going to like the place that they're going to. So like that was a crazy freaking thing, bro. And then to think that they have a kid and then like their kid is literally just left there alone as well, like raised the whole time there and everything.
I
Like,
didn't know they had a kid in the movie.
Liz, I thought so. By the end of it.
Maybe by the end of it.
Gory's like, I quit watching halfway
Stop,
through.
shut
No, I've
the
seen
hell
the
up.
movie a couple times. I don't remember them having a kid in the movie.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking something else, but I really thought that they did. Like, by the end of it, it was just kind of like an end scene. Like, they had their kid, and then, like, they're looking, and he knows that they're getting old, their white hair type
Dude,
stuff,
but in
so...
the beginning of the first Quiet Place movie, like, it's kind of fucked up seeing, like, their little baby boy kid, like, everybody knows they got to be quieter. The monsters are attracted to it, and the monsters will just fucking slaughter you. The little kid, like, started playing with the toy, and the toy went off, and everybody was trying to get to the boy to turn off the fuck, because the boy didn't know any better.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
It ends
I
up
think
being
I've seen
fucking
that
killed.
before. Yeah. I have seen that. I think that was in the...
It was pretty hardcore.
Yeah,
It was
I think I
sad.
remember that from the trailer.
Yeah, like in From, they have to keep their windows, like, nailed shut, because they will literally, they'll look innocent, like a little old lady talking to your kid.
Oh, I've seen. So I thought
and-
that was called. Man,
And like
I
the
know
little
the-
girl opens up the window, and if you open the window, they can all come in your house, and so they all just
Were
came
those
in,
demons in
and
that
like, like they ripped them apart, bro. The mother and the girl and the father was at the bar drunk sleeping, so he got put in the box, like to be punished. So like like
twisted.
he got seriously. It's a fucked up show, bro. But like we like the fucked up and the crazy.
Sounds like something my parents would have did back in the day.
Oh my god, what?
It wouldn't have been a box. They'd have just been like, "Don't go outside. Why we go somewhere?" Like, but I never fucking listened to that rule. I was always outside.
Yeah, I gotta say, your parents would never have been like, don't go outside.
No, they had trouble grounding me back in the day because they'd be like, "You're grounded. You have to stay in the house. No video games." Blah, blah. That lasted like 15 to 30 minutes, and then they were like, "Go out and play." Grounding never fucking worked.
Corey's like, I just did whatever I wanted.
It wasn't really that.
Took
But
my ass whoopings and did as I pleased.
it was pretty much that was it.
You
knew
sick
it.
fuck. No.
I knew the ass whoopings were definitely a thing. Like I got pissed off when I went to a couple schools where they could paddle you with their parents' permission.
Hell no.
And my dude Clay was all about it. He was like,
Hell no.
he was all like, "Let me know if he gets paddled at school. He gets paddled at home." And I'm all like, "You motherfuckers!" Like, so like anytime I'd be going down to the principal's office to get paddled, the teacher walking me down would be like, "It's not bad. It's gonna be done and over before you know it." And I'm all like, "Yeah, that's what you think." Like, I got this paddling at school, and then I got one at home. Like. Waiting for me. That's like a whole nother 4 or 5 hours from now.
Yeah, just enough time to recover.
And they get it worse.
Yeah. And then it's just like fresh in your mind.
What's really fucked up about those schools is they'd pick the biggest motherfucker in the school to paddle you. It was either the principal that was fucking huge or the gym teacher that was fucking huge. It's like they ain't picking no grandma
At least it
teacher,
wasn't a
like-
2-inch thick board with holes in it, and everybody's initials has been hit with it. Okay.
Oh, they.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? That
there was a school that there was a different size paddle for each grade.
Shut the.
Yeah, they'd pull up the locker drawer or whatever and fucking different paddles and shit. And I'm all like, this is twisted right here.
5th grade had spikes.
Oh my god!
I don't remember any of them having holes or like objects on them, but I remember them being different shapes and sizes. Like that principal must have had some type of fetish. Now that I think about it, like different size paddles for each grade. Like not just the same size paddle for everybody. Like
Yeah, I never got a
fuck
paddle.
corporal punishment.
100%.
Shouldn't be a fuck up.
Yeah. I didn't do it purposely. I didn't. It's not like I went in knowingly like, fuck, I get paddled to death for this sweet. I'm like, no, dude, I just fucking, there was no filter in my brain back then, so.
There was no fuck this is stupid filter.
Yeah, that filter didn't come in until way later on in life.
No, just focus.
God damn it.
Like, I did shit not knowing it was gonna get me in trouble.
Right, you just needed to focus.
Something, I don't know.
You just need to fuck off because you're stupid. Like that's what that means.
It was the special classes for a reason, guys.
Oh, shit.
Like, they legitly, like, through, like, kindergarten to, like, not in the grades that I was in BK with, but when I went down to fucking Tennessee, they put me in the special classes where there's a kid drooling over here and a kid, and I'm like, I'm really this retarded, guys? Like, I gotta be in the T-Rex class? Like,
yeah, start thinking about your life, man.
because I know it wasn't all my classes growing up, because I had some classes with BK and Port Clinton, like...
Elementary classes, though.
Well, it's not like fucking elementary school.
Yeah, but
got harder down in
elementary is
Tennessee.
easy, like, for most of us. It's once you hit sophomore, junior, and senior year is when shit gets real, and you thought you was an A-plus student, and now you're at C's and D's, and you don't know what the
No,
fuck
I
happened.
got the choice to get the special tests where they were like half marked out. Like the A, B, C, D answers, like 2 of them would be marked out. Like, that's how special I was.
Corey got the 50-50 chance instead of 25% chance.
I'm sick. Oh my
Well,
god.
like, I was in English class with Brad, and he looked at one of my tests one time, and he was all like, "You being serious? Like, you get this shit, we get this shit?" And I was like, "Hey, dude, I what they gave me, man." Like,
And Corey graduated early.
well, that's down in Tennessee. You had to have more credits to graduate. That doesn't make sense.
I mean, when I moved from Sandusky, I had credits that they were like, oh, like, you shouldn't have earned those yet. And I was like, oh, so I gotta take those tests? And I was like, yeah. So I was so thankful because there was, like, the
you
baby.
fucked up by asking him, "Do I still have to take these tests?"
No, no, I didn't actually, because you know what? I had already done the baby, taking the fucking baby home or doing the fucking, like, report or whatever, and they were gonna make me do that. Like, I'd already done it, and they were finna make me do it again, and I was like, no, actually, I took that test already.
Dude, I would have been so pissed if I would have came back to Port Clinton.
Do not make me do
And they
that
were just
again.
like, yeah, fuck these credits you got. You got to redo
Fuck
all this
that.
shit again. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. Like, I'm glad my guidance counselor was like, technically, you don't have to take math. Technically, you don't have to take any of these other classes. You just have to do this, this, and this. And technically, you could graduate early if you wanted to. And I'll be like, okay. Like, okay.
Yeah, right. Be like, this sounds like a suspiciously good deal here.
Like, she should legitimately ask me, like, are you going to plan on going to college? Because that marks out all these classes you have to take. I'm like, no, I don't really plan on going to college. She's like, all right, then you don't have to do any of these. Like, technically, I didn't even have to take Spanish class. That was just to fill up a slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took 2 years of Spanish, still don't know a lick of it, but I only did that because it was like, oh yeah, I still thought I might go to college, and now I have $19,000 worth of debt, and I'm never doing that again, but you know, I digress.
Like, my senior year was the easiest senior year anybody could have had in high school. Like, for one, it was a half a year, and then half of those classes I had for the half the year were study halls.
I didn't have to do a math in my senior year, so.
Like, I legitimately had 2 study halls during the beginning of the day between all the classes, but the last 2 classes I had, the periods I had were study halls, so I just got to go home early.
You ever have to dissect anything?
In elementary school.
What?
Not in, like, high school or anything.
In what?
Yeah, down in Tennessee, we got to dissect frogs.
In elementary.
Yeah, in elementary school. That was, like, probably 5th or 6th grade.
See, in middle school is where I started it. Worm, frog, pig, then came to Port Clinton and did the cat, so that was...
That's kind of fucked up.
I think in middle school we did a pig, but I didn't take anatomy, so I didn't have to dissect a cat in high school.
That's kind of messed up, though.
Fuck anatomy.
And then they're like, we gotta eat it, too. Like,
Yeah, right.
No.
It could be like class next was making a fire and
shit, down in
roasting them
Tennessee,
bitches.
there was a hunter safety class. You got to, like, do a whole hunter safety program if your parents were okay with it and signed off.
Hey, there was a hunter program. I took my friend to Job and Family Services or whatever, and there was a hunter's program, like, on the board, and I took a picture of it because I was like, I wonder if Kai would be interested in doing that. I was like, I mean, shoot, that'd be pretty cool. Shoot, his grandpa already be having him shelling the fish, scales, descaling the fish.
I thought you were gonna say shellac first. Shellacking the fish.
No, Kai filleted the fish.
No, I was just about to say that. I just got my words tongue-tied. But yeah, he filleted the fish
So
and
they're
everything.
skinning the fish and filleting the fish. That's two different parts of cleaning the fish.
Like, so that's really awesome that he already knows how to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I can remember the first time I tried like descaling a fish and like fucking things were flying back and hitting me in the face and the eye, and I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. Like,
just scales, man. Don't be a sissy about it.
would you guys eat a fish at a place that still had his head on it and everything? Like, you know how they cook fish as
I
whole?
have.
I was
I
like,
have
yeah, I
to.
would.
Yeah, I've
I mean,
eaten whole fish, smoked catfish, they're whole.
be a little weird, but the only thing I'd be worried about was getting a freaking little teeny tiny rib bone. I was like, I don't care about nothing else, so it's got a face.
Well,
whatever.
sometimes certain fishes, the bones like are like gristle almost, so you just like pretty much like a chicken bone almost. You just don't eat that. Don't eat that part.
That's different. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like in salmon, when they fillet salmon, there's big long bones that like not every bone in the salmon is like hard and like can do damage or some shit like that.
Yeah, but it's still a bone. That's why a lot of times when you find fish fillets and stuff, they're always small because big like production of it, they just cut the shit out. It's not like
It'll leave a lot of meat behind probably.
yeah, I gotta say there's fucking probably like
And that all gets made into hot dog.
yeah, like high end places might do that. They might take the time and take these fucking bones out or take the time to cut around.
Well, it's a sushi place, so they're trying to get as much fucking meat out of the fish as possible, probably. But not every fish has that. Like tuna don't have big bones running through it. Like the backbone, probably, but salmon, I know, probably catfish and other fish have.
Dude, I be watching these videos all the time here, like for the last like 2-3. I told you ever since you sent me that video of that one fishing hook, man, it's been nothing but
Fishing tricks?
videos. Well, it's not even just fishing tricks. It's this dude is like, oh, I'm gonna show you guys how to cook this catfish, and then he just shows you all these different recipes. Dude, it's fucking.
That sounds
He be
good.
making like catfish pizza, catfish pot pie, all these different kinds of fucking
Ooh.
bluegill. Dude, like some of them I'm looking at and I'm like, this sounds good as fuck. That's how I got that fucking recipe I told you when I fried that fish up last week. That was one of his recipes.
Oh, that's one of his recipes?
Yeah. Well, kinda.
I thought you were using one of your mom's recipes.
Well, yeah, for the breading it is. The breading was my mom's.
I tell you, one of these days I'm gonna have to make my chicken gnocchi and bring over a bowl for you, cause
What is it?
chicken gnocchi, it's like a potato noodle, basically just potato with starch or whatever. But I make it like all the time now. Actually, since I made it the first time, I've made it like 8 or 9 times now because I made it for my mom and I keep making it at the house. And if I even whisper of the gnocchi, both people in my house were like, "You're making that, right?"
Don't play with my emotions like that.
Yeah, it's carrots and celery and onion and garlic, and then it's the chicken.
So it's like chicken noodle
And-
soup, but with potato noodles?
Yeah, like with potato noodles, and then I put spinach in it, Parmesan cheese, like heavy cream, chicken stock, spices, and like, I don't know, like it's just really good. I also have like doubled the recipe, like because I like a chowder. Like, I don't know, like the way that it had it set up, it was like a nice thin soup, like, you know, you may get at like Olive Garden. It was supposed to be like a mimic of the Olive Garden gnocchi soup. But I like a good chowder, so I started just adding more and adding more and adding more. Made the recipe my
thicker.
own, so like I have a good like chowder version of this gnocchi. So it was like a thick.
Dude, I've done that so
it was
many
so
times.
good.
Have you ever just like made something up out of your ass and like made it for people and they're like, you gotta make this all the time now, and you're just sitting there like, I don't even know what the fuck I put in it. Like,
I mean, well, the first couple of times that I made it, yeah, that's how it was. Like, I am just now getting like more into like cooking and like believing in myself when it comes to the spices. And so yeah, like like I
Living
cook.
in the heart of the cards.
Believing in the
So-
heart of the spices.
No, seriously, because the first time I cooked it to the T, to the recipe. Second time even, I remembered it and I just put the regular stuff in. And then I started adding more. And I was like, no, I want double the gnocchi. No, I want double the chicken. No, I want a little less spinach. No, I want more Parmesan cheese. And then, like, now I just do it by heart. I was over at my mom's
I
being
don't
all
think you
fancy.
mentioned spinach the first time.
Yeah, spinach. Yeah, spinach is in it. But I would just be fancy. I was over at my mom's, like, 2 feet above the fucking pot, like, you know, like, I'm seasoning this with love, mother. Like, being all
Gordon Ramsay
extra.
in the kitchen over here, like.
But it was so crazy because making it for my mom, it was the best. Like, it was obviously I've made it really good. But, like, even though I didn't measure a single motherfucking thing, like, it was the best I
You're just
had ever
eyeballing it.
made it. And it was completely double. Like, my mom had a huge pot, so I wasn't afraid of adding that little bit of extra this, little bit of extra that. So it was the largest thing that I had made of it. Still came out perfect, bro. Like, oh, I loved it so much.
I haven't made some really good food in a while.
Listen, we've been cooking. I have my friend living with me and she's pregnant. And so now it's just like, so what are you getting out for dinner?
Cravings.
What are you eating for dinner? What are you eating for dinner? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I live off of hot dogs and ramen noodles actually. So what are we having for dinner? Because what are you talking about? Like, but she's helping with groceries. So it's going to make it easier. And I'm going to be spoiled. Her freaking parents are like, hey, you need some potatoes? You need some eggs? They gave me 3 dozen eggs, 2 bags of potatoes, brought me 8 pounds of meat. They already got 2 beef roasts for me.
She's looking
They
at
said-
her fridge
they
like,
said-
it does never look like this.
Oh my god! Like, they got fish for me too that they ain't given me yet. And I'm like, you can never move out, actually. And she was like, oh, well, even if you know me after I move out, like, they'll still be like, hey, you need some eggs and this and that. And I was like, period. And sometimes he's a trucker, so he sometimes has other things, not just like potatoes. He'll have like apples and bananas and like other things too. I'm like,
Bricks
so
of
I'm gonna be
cocaine.
spoiled. Shut the fuck up! Oh man.
Let me know what that night is.
No, he's definitely not on cocaine, but he's definitely like a country.
Yeah, that's
bumpkin.
a stereotypical trucker thing, bro. Not all of them do it. About 99%. Like,
No, he's just more like real big dude, like real big, like typical like country bumpkin, Trump supporting trucker type white
Country
dude. You know what I'm
bumpkin?
saying? Like no, like his. Well,
what's the definition of country bumpkin?
like I mean, the house kind of just sort of looks like a junkyard type situation. You know what I'm saying?
They could be
but-
artistic.
I mean, but they're lovely people. I'm just like, it's very stereotypical. I'm telling you.
A foolish, poorly educated person from a rural area.
Okay, well, I wasn't
That's an
trying.
insult.
It
then.
says it's a synonym for the term yokel.
Okay, well, I wasn't trying to say all that now. Come on now, why you call me out like
Country
that?
bumpkin, man.
I
This is
call
you
my-
racist ass.
I call my grandparents country bumpkins. When I tell everybody, I'm like,
You
oh,
should
I was
probably-
raised by a
you
country
should probably
bumpkin.
Stop calling them that.
This is a racist term, it seems like. That's worse than hillbilly.
I gotta say, hillbilly can't be that good.
Hey, foolish.
I mean, honestly though, like I still believe that like because of the setup that they had, they were not properly educated on actually what happened and stuff. So I mean, regardless of whether it may be harsh or not, it may be 100% actually factually true. So I'm not mad about that either. So sorry, not sorry, but previous generations are not educated, so they can suck it. I mean,
I can't say my education was all the best, so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not neither here nor there. That's not what we're talking about.
Poorly educated. Does that mean they're poor too, or is the education just poor?
I mean,
No,
my mom
no,
didn't graduate,
poorly
my dad
educated.
didn't graduate, and like I know a bunch of other people in like my side of the family didn't graduate. So I mean, like, you know, does that count? I mean, so I was one of the ones. They literally
Oh, a
looked
lot
at
of
me.
famous rich people didn't go all the way through high school.
Oh no, I don't think grades and schooling really matters much. Actually, it's not built to actually create people who can do stuff. So, you know, like people who quit school probably actually had dreams and made it somewhere. People who were forced to live in that box probably stayed in that box for the rest of their cocksucking lives. Fuck the fucking box.
All right, Miss Conspiracy.
Boy, don't even get me started because that's the whole reason why I'm here. This man said, oh, you want to get educated? Let's do a podcast. So I've been waiting, actually, for this portion of the podcast. Let me get on it, actually. Normally, I feel like I just sit back and don't talk a lot. I am the Silly Goose CEO. Swear to on my life, I brought the shirt and didn't change it for a whole reason because, period.
Silly Goose.
What?
Silly Goose.
Oh.
You imagine if like Mary Poppins went around calling people Silly Goose?
I was like, you already know what I want to talk about. I was like, what's the topic you want to bring up? Like, what's the one you want to start with?
I don't know. It's on you. You're the one who said it.
Topics?
No,
Is there gonna
like,
be a
I was
test?
gonna say, you just said you wanted to talk about some shit, so I figured you had some shit to talk about.
I mean, I don't know. I just know that, like, I feel like you listen to a lot more podcasts and you, like, outsource a lot more things and you just be spending a lot of your time, like, reading and looking at things about what's going on in the world. Like, and I do my own little researches and, like, when I see posts, I don't just, like, follow the posts on my Facebook. I go and I look stuff up. I look articles up. I looked up and spent 45 minutes reading, actually, the most current 2025 bill that just came out, the Big Beautiful Bill Act. And so I just
I don't
wanted...
think I heard about that.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
I'm surprised. The Big Beautiful Bill.
Yeah, so, like, I'm
That
just...
sounds a little familiar, but I haven't really seen it yet.
But, like, on top of that, you said, okay, Mrs. Conspiracy Theorist, and, like, point blank period, we actually could talk the rest of this entire podcast about all of the conspiracy theorists that I'm, like, actually into, because nothing that we know is actually truthful, and we are all living a lie. Like, so don't even get me started. But about the 2025 Bill Act, what of it stands out to you? Like, have you, like, looked up any of it? Have you, like, thought of any of it?
No, the only thing I've really seen about the Big Beautiful Bill was the no AI regulation for like 10 years. And that's what I've seen. A bunch of people were all pissed off about that.
What's the act supposed to bring forward?
Well, the Big Beautiful Bill is like Trump's, his basically his fucking financial plan for the next... for his term.
Is that what Elon Musk got all pissed about?
Yeah, Elon wasn't cool with it either.
He said it was a waste of money or something, I think he said.
Well, I guess it's just a fucking inflated spending bill, for all the emphasis that the Trump administration put on budget cuts and shit. I guess it's just kind of a waste.
Like, I was talking to my mom, and I, like, was like, oh, all the budget cuts for the rich and this and that, and she was like, what budget cuts? And, like, that's what really got me to, like, look at, like, all of the things. And it's not even necessarily, like, they took out all of the inclusion. They cut things for schools. They cut things for any inclusion when it comes to women's rights. They came to a lot of things when it comes to Mexicans and things like that, taking all of inclusion out so that just because you're a woman or a certain situation happens, they can just turn you away. You got Gonzalez as your last name. They can just turn you away because... They don't care about that anymore. But, like, I just think that...
So they're making it more exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, people are out there complaining about, oh, well, your name has to be the same on your ID and your birth certificate or some stupid shit. As if because you get married, that's the part that's oppressing us. No, that's definitely not the part, like, but I won't get into the abortion stuff about women and how we just... Based upon the things that are happening right now, he just wants us in the home. He wants us back in the home. Like, he just doesn't want us to have a right to say anything anymore, but...
No.
I don't think he's taking the First Amendment away. Like, that sounds like what...
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. I would say... I assume you're talking about Trump.
I'm just talking... I mean, the main part of that was just... mainly about, like, the autonomy over our bodies and the fact that he doesn't want women to be able to make choices. So he's making it harder for us to choose when we start our families and how we protect and provide for them.
How?
I say what you just described wasn't really necessarily a bad thing.
I'm confused. What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean either.
Like caring about the family and stuff like that. And
Caring about what family?
what you just said. What exactly did you just say about like you said pretty much like the protection of your family or something like that?
No,
Being in the home and
basically
being
what
more
I'm
about the
saying
family.
is that, like, because he's making so many things with abortion illegal, like, I feel like he just wants us in the home making babies, because we don't have a choice as to whether or not we get to have a baby. If we get pregnant and it's just so happened past a certain point or time, we absolutely 100% have to have that baby. There's no exceptions for rape. There's no exceptions for any other situation where a person might die. And now there's a person who's literally being held as an incubator because she has a baby growing within her. She's dead, brain dead, her body is dead, her soul is not in there, and yet they are just holding her as an incubator. And that's a scary slippery slope, because that's actually leading to, we've already been doing like lots of cloning and other types of research, so like now you just want to build factories of like baby makers. That's terrifying. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know, like, it's just a really slippery slope what he's going with
But
this.
he also did not say flat out like we want you to make babies. Like
But he's also
trying
not
to make
giving
it,
us an option to stop.
like
having
there's always
babies.
having abstinence and like not making a baby. I mean, in general, like you can't say that this country's not full of a bunch of horny people that just constantly fuck. Like
There's also no policies. He didn't make anything illegal.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. There's no federal policy on it. Now that is the whole like thing against it. That's the whole reason people are pissed off about it, is because now it's not a federal issue. Now the federal government has no say in the abortion. It's literally the state. Like, it's literally state by state.
I mean, but that's where I just don't think that it's right. Like, when it comes to like human rights, it doesn't make any sense to me how you can leave it to the state to give autonomy to someone's body. I mean, we've seen videos of people literally in Congress rooms talking to men and asking them, so what would happen, like, if you, like, why shouldn't there be a mandate on vasectomies? And
how do you know it's actually a man and not a woman that is a man now?
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know anymore.
Well, all I know is
They're asking
that
men, but that could be a fucking jury full of women.
they're
for all you
very,
know.
very
Like,
quick to say that, oh, no, like, that's not okay to make it a mandate to get vasectomies after a certain age, even though it's a
It's all going
quicker,
to probably
easier
change
process.
in 50 to 100 years also. The new Congress people always come. All the people in Congress now are getting 80, 90 years old. They're not going to be in there forever. So, like, here in 50 to 100 years, all this shit's going to be changing, too. Like, stuff's always constantly changing.
No, yeah, absolutely. So listen, this pissed me off because I, for one, am not about, this is another topic that I wanted to talk about. I'm not about all of the stuff that's happening, obviously, with Trump. Like, there's no King's protests and the immigration protests and stuff like that. And I'm not personally about 100% of everything he's doing. And this is what I'm getting at. Okay, I talked to my mom about it, and I wasn't even trying to talk to her about it, but everything, I swear, leads to that sometimes with my mom. But we were talking about how my boyfriend literally got an electrician apprenticeship job, and
That's
he's,
good.
well, not like job, but it's like an interview on the 18th. But he's, in that same breath, in that same week, told me that he's afraid of being taken away because he's brown, because there have been dozens of stories of people who, even though they are legal Americans, being detained and taken to places and not being allowed to call their families. Their families are not being
That
known,
hasn't happened in
like,
this
where they
area,
are.
though.
I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's not happened in this area or not, but it's just a matter of fact that my mom this is what I was getting at. My mom literally said, well, like, I don't care about not talking politics with her, but she said that there's nothing that can be done, so there's no point talking about it. And she specifically also said that nothing ever changes. As if my mother has not literally been alive the last 60 years, and in the last 100 years, how much change have we seen? How much change have we seen? Like, and I'm not here to talk about, like, the history of Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King Jr., but those are just two people that made change happen. My mom is with a veteran and looked at me dead in my face, and she doesn't want me going to protests, but she's okay with her husband
Because
going
you'd be the
overseas and
motherfucker at the
fighting.
protest that turns it into a riot. Like,
I'm not going to do the one that turns it. What are you talking about? No, like
Okay, you're just over there with a pitchfork, like, yeah.
absolutely not. No, see, that's the thing, though. Like, people are doing it wrong. Like, I'm not there to fucking be angry and violent. Like, I know that I'm intense, but that doesn't mean that, like, I'm gonna be there and be angry and, like, really, like, rile people up. Like, I'm not about that. I don't know, like, but still, the point is that my mom's okay with her husband, like, risking his life overseas, but I can't just go to a peaceful protest. And I'm not talking, she was like, oh, yes, you can get killed. I'm not going to New York. I'm not going to Florida. I want her to go to Fremont. A little protest in Fremont, mother. Like, if all I do is make a difference in my community.
So they protest all the time in
that's all I
Sandusky,
care.
too, along the main road right there, too.
No, yeah, I was looking up those ones, too, but it's just, I worked. Like, there was 2 of them that I wanted to go to, but my freaking schedule, it was on Friday, and then it was on Sunday.
You know, a protest is just a couple lines or a couple steps away from being an angry mob.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, but...
There's nothing wrong with protesting at home or, like, protesting in a different way other than going to a big group of people. Unless it's a festival and everybody's dancing to music, having a great time.
But that doesn't...
But a protest, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, and it's like, there's different ways to look. I could go at it with different, like, examples. But a mob, not a mob, but a protest is just almost... like inciting a riot or a mob.
I mean, but it's not, because it's actually our legal right to protest and
I'm
government.
not against, like,
you know?
You wearing a shirt or like just doing your everyday routine, but like stopping traffic or like stopping like everyday duties just to get a word out is not really rightful, in my opinion.
But the things that are happening in our government are immoral. So you're telling me, I don't know, like
they've been
people,
doing that for the past 200 years, bro.
But that's what I'm saying, that in the last 100 years, the people who created change broke the laws of that time. Just because people think that it's unlawful doesn't mean that it's not morally correct. And so, unfortunately...
That's not what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, what are you trying to say?
No, like it's gonna take a lot more than people just standing in a big group yelling about it and holding signs to actually make a change.
I mean, but like...
You need to blow something up.
I mean, I don't know, like...
That was a joke.
No, I mean, I know. I just think that it really does make a difference. Like, I feel like the butterfly effect is real, and I feel like people just in the last generations were like, well, it worked for me, so it works for them. So if we actually have a few generations saying, no, we want to do better for our people, that means that I can affect my community, and that will affect the outcome of the things that happen. Like, I'm not trying to be a Rosa Parks. I just wanted to tell my mom I wanted to be heard in my community, and she was yelling at me about, oh, you're gonna get killed. Like, I don't think it's wrong to want to go to city council meetings and to, like, actually be knowledgeable and, like, make a difference in my community. Like...
I think she's already stressed enough about her significant other just putting their life on the line in danger that she probably just doesn't want to have the extra stress of maybe you being in a position where you're going to get hurt. But that's also just her feelings. You could probably do whatever you want. Like, you don't have to have your mom's permission to go to a protest.
No, yeah, I know that, definitely. I'm not going to ask her permission to do that. I just,
It almost sounded like it.
No, because we weren't on the topic of that. That's the thing. She just asked me why I was frustrated. I told her why I was frustrated, and she tried to relate to me by saying something about, oh yeah, it was like this and that at Cracker Barrel, and I was like, Mom, this ain't about no pansy ass Cracker Barrel or Wendy's job. Okay, this is about the state of the world that we live in. Like, I'm a whole, like, want to quit everything and get a van and go live off on my own because I'm actually sick and tired of where the world's going right now. Like,
on a funny note, you brought up Cracker Barrel. I seen a small clip the other day. It was this white guy on his phone, and he's bringing his black friend, to Cracker Barrel. And he's like, he looks over at him, he's like, how you feel eating in a barrel full of crackers? And he laughed, and that guy laughed, like, and then like it clips to him like sitting down in the restaurant, and he's just panning around, and all white people eating, and he pans to his friend, and he's all like.
oh my goodness.
Dude, Cracker Barrel biscuits are delicious. Don't know when the last time you guys had a Cracker Barrel biscuit, but...
I was just trying to think about the last time I had a Cracker Barrel biscuit. It's Dude, it's been a long time.
They're they're so delicious. I'm like, how do you make this? And it's like our own mix. You buy it out in the lobby, and I'm all like, it doesn't say how I make it though. Like,
So like, let me just ask you guys this question though, okay? Because I've actually been educated. I got called out in front of all of my boyfriend's Mexican brothers to ask this question. I asked him specifically because his eldest brother, his wife came over illegally. Legally, not illegally. Legally. Okay.
allegedly.
No, for real.
Yeah.
She did. And so I asked her, like, how much that it costs to come over and how long that it takes. Okay? And so they said that it took about a year and about $3,000. Okay? And I saw the horror stories on Facebook. Oh, it took me, I started when I was 6 before I moved here, and I'm 46 and I just got legalized. But did you know that it costs more money the more that you illegally cross the border? Like, the more that you have to do that. But I didn't know that. Like, and so he told me all that.
You get kicked out of America with a ticket. You owe us money.
But my point is that my mom also got mad at me. My mom also got mad at me when I said this because I 100% agree with the just things, okay? If there are people here doing illegal crimes, if they're here, you know, like illegally, I guess, like, then, okay, whatever, you do you. I can't control all of that. But I didn't look at her, we weren't on voice chat or anything, we were just calling. But I said to her, I know there are legal things happening, but you cannot look at me dead in my face and tell me that there are not illegal things also happening, like people literally just being snatched up in places that they shouldn't be snatched up at and stuff. Like, do y'all agree with that? Like, I understand wholeheartedly protecting your country, but there are some highly illegal things going on, and tons of horror stories of people just being completely legal, picked up off the street and being taken. Like, and that's something that I never thought that I'd ever have to worry about.
I worried about that when I was little. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I gotta say, being kidnapped is a kind of a fear when you're young. No, yeah.
That's what made me blow my mind. That's what really blew my mind when my parents made me like look after Devin at such a young age, and I was able to take him out in the middle of town. I'm talking about Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. It's a tourist town. Like, people, and I was just like, I was probably like 12 at the time, taking my 3-year-old brother around town.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I imagine people looked at me funny as fuck, like, where the fuck are these people's parents at? Like,
Yeah.
What were you saying?
What was I saying?
about the fear of being taken.
Oh, no. Well, yeah, I mean, there was that. I did say that. But no, I don't think I've seen those stories. I haven't read into, like, anything that I've seen for a while. But, like, that's one thing I do want to say. I don't listen to a bunch of podcasts.
Oh.
Yeah.
You used to. You were, like, doing
Joe
it a
Rogan,
lot.
pretty much.
Yeah, and I gotta say, basically, well, I mean, the only podcast I really listened to has been the Joe Rogan podcast. And then I used to listen to, like, Morbid and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not listening to the Joe Rogan podcast because I want to catch up on, like, world events either.
Oh,
like,
okay.
that's not...
Kind of knowledgeable.
Yeah. I would say but I hear, like, he talks a lot about, like, the stuff that's going on. But what I like about him, and what you don't see on YouTube, like, and what you don't see on, like, anything, unless you're, like, listening to the whole entire episode, like, you're not gonna understand a lot of the stuff that you see him talking about. Because most of the time, like, this motherfucker is the king of people, prefacing themselves by saying, I'm an idiot, don't listen to what I'm saying. Like, this is just what I think.
I mean, that's fair, too, because, like, that's why I'm trying to educate myself. Like, I talk to people, and I give people, like, a warning. This is just what I know. This is the information in my brain. I'm not pushing anything on you. But, like, this is the collective of my information, and I'll tell you my opinion. But I'm not forcing you to believe anything. Like, I just have a collective of information, and I'd like you to hear it. I don't know. I like hearing other people's opinions and collecting extra information. And right now, I've been open up to a world with my Mexican boyfriend, to the ignorance of things that I did not know. Like, things that I've literally never had to experience, and things that, like, I never thought I'd hear in my entire life come out of my boyfriend's mouth, and I'd just be stunned to silence because I have absolutely nothing to say with the fact that I'd never had to deal in my wildest dreams with some of the things that he's had to deal with.
So your boyfriend was born here in America, right?
He was, but
There ain't no he was, but it's either he was born here in America or not.
oh well, what were you gonna say after that?
Well, like you said earlier, like he was afraid of being like deported or something. Like they can't deport a person that was born here in America.
But you're confused because
Yo.
they have.
Not everybody that they've. I can't say everybody. I'm not truly actually sure, but I'm pretty sure everybody that they've deported was not a born U.S. citizen.
No, if you have papers, it doesn't matter. Like, if you have legal papers, you shouldn't be deported. And there are people with legal papers.
That's not what I said. I said born U.S. citizens being deported.
Right, but I already prefaced this with saying that I talked to my mom about, I understand that there are legal things happening, and I understand that. What I don't understand is the illegal things happening. The fact that our president is ignoring due process. He is taking control of the National Guard and basically enforcing martial law without saying it's martial law, because you can't actually do that. He's not allowed to do that. And when he was told by the Supreme Court to actually relinquish that, he has ignored it. There have been multiple people that have been deported that are completely legal with their papers, that people are rioting in the streets to get back.
If the government didn't want it happening, he wouldn't be president right now.
That's not true. The government is completely against us. Like, what are you talking? What? Whoa,
Well,
hold up. Are you for the government? Because we need to talk about that. You really think the government
I said-
is for us?
No, I said if the government didn't want what was happening right now with all the deportation, Trump would not be president, and he would not be doing what.
Oh, absolutely. It's completely controlled. They want it all to happen. Oh, absolutely.
So
okay,
like,
sorry.
not just Trump's the problem and what he's doing. Like, it's definitely a bigger thing than that.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. We can go deeper into that because, I mean, I get stuck on I've actually been obsessed with this for, like, months and months and months and months and months. Like, I
just heard the other day that, like, he did some kind of, like, he bought something. He bought back $10 billion in debt that we owed to other countries.
Well, debt doesn't actually exist because money shouldn't exist and it doesn't really matter, actually.
Well, that's a whole different side story. But I was just like
but that's what I talk, like, that's where I'm getting at. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I actually can't stand the system that we live in because none of it exists. None of it actually is right.
And I agree with a lot of the things you're saying, but it sounds a lot like communism. Like the whole no money thing, money is just made up and we chase it. It shouldn't be a factor. Like that's communism right there too. Like,
I mean, like if it's,
I mean, kinda.
I mean,
like I've gotten called a communist because of spouting those words. Like I believe it too. Like yeah, like they're like, but at the same time, like when you don't have like certain, I guess I don't know if stipulation's the right word, but.
I mean, obviously, like, I'm not dumb. I know that could never happen. I'm not living in Delulu land like, oh, we could get to this in my life.
It happens on a smaller scale. It's been proven to work. It does actually work, but not on a large scale as in, like, a big-ass country as we have.
I mean, that's super fair. Like, and I know that it's not...
Like, trading should be a thing. Trading for certain...
100%.
Yeah,
like, the fact that we have to pay for rainwater, that, like, everything is...
No, you don't have to pay for rainwater. I mean, you get, like, yeah, collecting rainwater is technically illegal. So is building a solar panel.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, that shouldn't be illegal. And that's just wild to me.
It's not illegal. It's just, like, a fucking... something you have to pay him for.
I'm pretty sure there's a law against it.
Yeah, there is.
I don't know why, though.
Well, yeah, it's rainwater, solar panels, windmills, and water turbines. You can't build any of them yourself without having the government's permission. They just want money. Like,
yeah.
You can have those things.
I mean, you want me to go, like, you have anything to say before I go deeper?
I don't know, man.
I mean, I'm not gonna get mad. Like, you can tell me something opposite. I truly want to discuss. When I told you I came here to be educated, like, I'm not spouting off all this shit just to be like, oh, I'm right. I'm trying to see both sides of the coin. I'm trying to know what's going on in the world.
I would have to say, don't want you upset with me, but I am more of a Trump for than against her.
I mean, like, I'm not going.
Weird to say it like that.
For and against her.
But that's only because I think, for one thing, presidents are puppets.
Oh, 100%. They're all puppets, actually, including everyone
But
that
I'd rather
entertains
have
us.
a puppet that speaks his mind and actually will do something than a puppet that'll just roll over and just actually be manipulated and just put comatose and stuff like that. And I'm not saying he's done all of his decisions and the things he does is good. I'm not, so it's not like I'm 100% like everything he does is fucking awesome. No, but there has been good and there has been bad.
And-
but at least, I mean, what happened the entire 4 terms? I mean, Biden was president, or even like there's been multiple presidents that just like we haven't had a solid talk your own mind president in a long ass time.
I mean,
Like a good solid 20, 25, 30 years.
I always, like, my mom even asked me, she started a conversation one time with, well, not just started it, but, like, interjection was like, so do you think that you're a Democrat or Republican? Like,
I got asked that the other night at the bar.
I 100% agree with you that, like, there are good things.
But I'm more of a neutralist. Why should there be 2 different sides?
Period.
It just
because
causes division.
I know that
to
Trump
be divided.
I know that Trump does good things, but I also know that the other side could do good things, and that's why I don't believe in the system that we have right now, because again, what you just said, everything is built to continually divide us so that we stay at war with each other. Like, and that is really what boggles my effing mind, that everybody just licks it up like they're fucking dogs, like, and it just doesn't make sense to me.
Even like I would have to say semi, like, this is a bad example, but being at a protest is 2 divided sides, and that does not need that just incites probably worse shit.
I don't agree with that because, again, like, if nobody stands up and speaks their mind and everybody
can
stays...
stand up and speak their mind every day throughout their entire routine of their day. You could stop somebody going in and out of a supermarket and be like, you have 5 minutes to listen to what I have to say. Like, you can easily make a difference out in the world by going, instead of going to a protest where there's a divided line and there's cops on one side with fucking full battle gear, and then angry people that have a word to speak, and then obviously they can get their word out. But I'm just saying there's more bad probably going to happen than good.
See, but I disagree with that because I am on the side where I wholeheartedly believe that there are bad cops and good cops, and I wholeheartedly believe that there are cops trying to incite danger. My mother, I was talking to her, and she told me that when you're on Facebook, it feeds you the things that you like. Media feeds you the things to confirm what you like. So 100% I agree with that. So I tried telling her.
I agree with that too.
So she sees only the bad riots and stuff. But do you know what I see? I see the few bad ones. I'm not biased. I see the bad ones. I know there's going to be bad apples in the bunch, and I do not and will not ever deny that. But the protests that have been out there are majority very peaceful. And I wholeheartedly believe that there are lots of police that are trying to
like, you could
incite
easily go
violence.
have a protest in a park where it's not obstructing anybody's day, instead of a federal building and streets, blocking off streets where that's going to, like, endure someone's day. Like, what if you had to work across town, but now you got to take an extra 30-minute drive?
I mean, but, like, just
there's
because
protests happening
but just
downtown.
because people are inconvenienced doesn't mean actual dick to me. Because unfortunately, if you want people to listen, you need to actually make a difference. Like you were saying that you can, like, say something to somebody who's walking down the street, but that doesn't mean that you collectively come together and show people that you're standing. If you just go back to your house and you just listen to that person and you don't
what if
do
you go to a
anything
different
about
place
it,
where it's not going to obstruct people's days?
But I don't think that matters. People can be inconvenienced all they want because there are people who are being inconvenienced, and that's why we're protesting, and that's our legal right to protest an unjust government that is not following the Constitution, that wants to dismiss due process.
I can't believe the Declaration of Independence has been rewritten yet. That's a whole nother.
That's a whole other topic in itself because period, like with our ever-changing place,
it was supposed to be rewritten eventually, and we're still following the same piece of paper that's been over 200 years ago.
But I also don't
I
think.
don't know if that number's correct.
But, like, all the things that are happening, I don't know, like, I'm on the, if you don't come to me, like, obviously, I know that people are different races. I believe, though, in human rights, okay? When you come to me and you talk to me about a Mexican or a black person or this or that, and you start saying stuff about stuff that's, like, very, directed one way, I'm like, actually, we're talking about a human. Like, and that's what really bugs me too. Like, the people who come here for like refuge, like who are taking 46 years to get their citizenship because they can't afford it, but they're working hard, they cause no problems. People are so stuck on the few people that come here and cause problems, because I understand that there are bad apples in the bunch, but my problem is that when you look things up, 74% of even serial killers in America are white men, actually. So I am so sorry that you have problems with the bad apples in the bunch, but that doesn't mean that you have to criminalize, dehumanize, and call people savages and other words simply because they're different from you and you think that they're all gonna come here and cause crime, because that's the people that I talk to. They're like, oh, well, they focus on the 2, 4, 6, 10 little stories about people who come here and cause crime. Okay, that's going to happen. It even happens in American country with Americans who are white. Like, anywhere you go, like, crime still happens with people who come there and are different races. Happens everywhere.
I don't think what's happening here in America is really as bad as the news makes it out to be, because we still have other countries out there that are in way worse wars and stuff like that and actually have serious crime going on. And, like, I guess what's happening here in America, it doesn't justify the deportation of people that legally should be here or anything like that. I'm not talking about that side of the spectrum, trying to make that right or anything, but it's just like, it's really not really as bad here in America as people sometimes make it out to be.
I mean, do you think, I don't know, like, do you think that it's fair for...
Like, there's countries out there that it is dangerous to walk out at night, and I can at least walk down to my house without having to fucking be worried.
But Mexicans can't say that. Because if you just...
Well, why is that being brought in? Are you talking about, like, the deportation of what's happening and
right,
everything
because
now?
people are even pulling up in unmarked vehicles with masks on and taking people. They're pulling up to places where people are trying to do the right thing, at courthouses and taking people. They're pulling up at kindergarten graduations and taking parents while their children are clinging to the teachers, like, where the fuck did my mom go? Like... It's just human rights. Like, it's not even about who's a Mexican, a black person, or anything at this point. It's about human rights. These babies, like, are
on more of a funnier subject, it kind of reminded me, I don't know why it reminded me of it, but I was at, like, just as I was out of high school, probably 21, 22 at the time, living down in Tennessee with my buddy's friends, and they were they went to flea markets. They set up at flea markets. So we went and set up at a flea market. And one of the end stands was a bunch of Mexicans selling burned DVDs. Like, they copied out the front of the DVD case and everything. It was like, it was not a legit DVD.
But it was legit.
No, it was a burned DVD. They had a whole stand set up. And, like, dude, it was crazy to see about, like, fucking 15, 20 cop cars swoop in. And, like you just seen all the Mexican families split. Like, they all ran off in different directions. Not one of them grabbed their kids.
I've also heard very horrific stories about, like, groups of illegal aliens just, like, getting busted by, like, border and shit, and then just split and fuck them kids, and then never see them again.
Yeah.
Like,
it's kind of fucked up. That'd be the first thing I'd grab. Like, I don't care if I would have gotten caught, like, swoop the kid on the back and run off. I'm not, it's just... It's almost a little funny, but crazy to see, like, it happen, and then, like, deuce, and all the kids are just standing there, like...
Yeah. And that... Right. Because kids don't fucking know.
Yeah.
They just know...
I've seen it happen personally, and I know it happens all the time. Like, it's just... It was a little... It was all... Well, you were all like, oh, because... That's like federal crime. Like, remember on the front of the fucking movies, it's like $250,000 or 5 years in federal prison or some shit like that.
Well, yeah, but that's for, like, that's for copyright.
Wasn't that copyright when you burn DVDs and you tried to sell them?
Oh, yeah, that is.
So, like, going back to what you said, like, communism, like, I don't know if this is, like, what it is, or I don't know, like, look up the definition of communism or whatever, but I know that, like, the reason why I'm so mad is because I want to look at every white person I know that is super racist and be like, please tell me to go back to my country, you stupid fuck, because I'm German, Irish, Polish, and Slovakian, and I actually don't belong here, and neither do you, because the people that came here our people were colonizers. That's actually not.
Yeah,
Look up
this
the
country-
definition
this-
of a colonizer because that's the person
This
who wants
country
to.
was found on illegal immigrants.
Yeah, on the backs
It was
of
a melting
Mexicans and black
pot.
people that were slaves and helped us literally build this country, but now we don't want them here. We used them for everything that we could, and in the last 100 years, actually in 1990s, 80s or 90s is when they finally got the most of their rights, and like it's crazy because women got their rights within 30 years of that too. Like that's the wildest thing I've ever heard. Like, and now on top of like disabled people only having the rights for about 36 years, women not having the rights for less than 100 years, and black people not having the rights for 100 years, now all of this crazy fucking shit is happening, and it just doesn't make sense.
I
to
seen a
me.
comedian make a joke the other day. It was super funny that, like, you know why, like, California and all those states over there have so many Mexicans? It's not because of illegal immigrants. It's because that was once a part of Mexico. And then the states were like, bam, it's ours now. And then they're just like, okay, we'll stay.
I mean, basically that's what happened.
I mean, did you know that Trump is now mandating that people who, like the illegal immigrants who are working at farms and other places, that's a crisis at this point because so many places have been raided that there's not enough people to work the hard jobs because there's not a gosh darn white person that you know that would work in a field. And so unfortunately he's had to be like, you know how there was special workers who could not actually call off from their jobs during COVID? Well, now there's specialized Mexicans that just can't be deported because they're necessary to America. And again, if that don't spell racism and fucking slavery, I don't know what does. I'm telling you what.
Yeah.
I've not heard anything like that. I'm not... You're probably gonna end up being mad at me by the time I'm done with this, but I'm not defending anything that's been going on. Like I said, I haven't really read into a lot of stuff.
Like, what's been shown other than the news shows?
Right. Well, like I was telling her, like I'm not going out there like looking for these stories at the moment. Like this political shit has been like.
It sounds crazy, but
Yeah.
that's the news makes it sound crazy.
I mean, the
the
only
news isn't
reason
going
why
to
I
show us
know-
something that they want us to see.
The only reason
But yeah,
why
I
I know
agree
a
with
little bit
BK
more
with what
is-
he was saying. Like, what were you saying? Like, you're not going to go out and actually research it, but what's been shown that's actual facts that, like, maybe they aren't illegal, dangerous people that, but they have still had some type of due process. It's not like in the same day they're deported. Like, why?
No, they're not getting due process though. Like that's
That's what the
thing.
news is telling you.
You think that every single one of them, out of Trump's mouth, he said that it would take too long and that he is suspending the due process because it would just take too long. There's no point.
I didn't
Like,
see that
that's-
clip.
Okay, well, okay. Now, I this is what I'm saying. This is where shit's probably gonna end up getting tense.
I'm not going to get mad at you for
No,
having
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is where shit's gonna get
Cool.
tense. This is
Preach.
where people would fucking get into the heated arguments here. But this whole shit's happening because it's such a large scale. That last administration literally let like 10 million fucking people, undocumented people,
Come in.
everybody. Like it wasn't.
The Biden
It
administration?
wasn't just terrorists or fucking bad people or rapists that were coming over. Drug
Just illegal
dealers.
immigrants, period.
Yeah, it was just everybody, but there was so fucking many.
15,000 a day?
Like, some crazy
It was
fucking number like
15,000
that.
a day.
There's just not enough. Like this is the whole core of it. I think there's no excuse for the shit that gets done. Where they're just taking people. There's no excuses for it. But I think a lot of people miss the core of the whole fucking issue. It's just that like. You can't just let 10 million fucking people come in unfiltered.
See, but that's crazy because he literally started with thinking that I was going to be mad at him, and that's exactly what I 100% agree with. Like, that's why I wish my mom could
So
talk
the
to me about
large
these things
deportation,
because-
maybe it's not done in the right way, not really due
right,
process.
that's
but
what makes me angry, but, like, I agree that, like, the last president letting just, like, everybody come here.
it wasn't
to
just
where-
the last president. We've had this problem for, like, probably before Biden.
Like,
Like Trump was talking about the large scale illegal immigrants back when he was last president, and he wanted to do something about building the wall, and everybody was pissed about building the wall.
Obama built or fucking deported like 3 million people too.
But nobody talks about Obama being a bad president and like large deportations. It's not like we're putting them in camps and killing them off like the Jews. Now that would be 100 times worse. We're just deporting them to another country and saying goodbye.
But I will say that there are people, though, that are in what you'd call camps, but people don't want to call them camps, okay? And there are people dying because they're not getting proper health care. Like, they are just staying there waiting for due process. But, I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I agree with that. Like, obviously I said that, like, I know that there's things legally being done. That's why I asked at that place in front of literally, like, 10 Mexicans, so how long did it take you to get here legally? Like, and my boyfriend
you probably sounded pretty racist right there. Well, how long did it really take you to get here?
Well, no. I prefaced...
Come by foot or alpaca?
I prefaced my question with, I'm tired of my own ignorance. Like, I am not dull enough to sit here and say that, like, I just completely understand what you guys go through, and I know everything, and da-da-da-da-da, and I know
that
all our
reminded
history.
me of? Ricky Bobby, when it's like, with all due respect. And I mean all due respect. So that doesn't mean you get to say whatever you want to say. Yeah, it does. I said it's with all due respect.
But, like, I really, truly am just trying to get educated. Like, I am already obsessed with the things that, like, people think.
At least you weren't like, are you guys worried about Ice Swooper then?
No! Oh my god. All of them.
You could have said that.
They don't have to worry about that. None of them sitting there at that house had to worry about that. Like, that's the problem. Like, the only person that would have had to deal with that, unfortunately, is my boyfriend's mom, and that makes me really sad, but she has passed.
No, I seen a funny comedian the other day. He says he started dating this chick out at the club. He was like, met this chick, and he didn't know what she fully did as a job. And he was Mexican, so he invited her over to a party. It was like a wedding or something that his brother and everything. And he didn't know. She asked him, she's like, so can I change at your house? You know, I don't have time to stop at my house. Can I change over there and whatnot? And he was like, yeah, it's not a problem. She pulls up in a Border Patrol truck, in a full Border Patrol outfit. And it's not like she was there to deport anybody. She, like, apparently the whole party scattered. And, like, the uncle whapped out the knife and was all like, you're not taking me! And, like, the husband started running down the road and shit. And, like, she was just wanting to change, like...
Oh, my God. So what else did you have to say about the topic, though? Because, again, I didn't come here just to, like, say things that I already understand. Like, what else do you feel or know about the situation? Like, and it's not, I don't expect you to know a bunch. The only reason why I'm truly affected, again, is because my boyfriend is Mexican, and he sees more things than I do. And I know that I want to see both sides of the story, so I don't just see
violent... Does he talk fluent in Spanish?
I'd say about 85% now.
He's not Mexican.
But, like, there are some things...
You're not Mexican unless you could go do, like, quinceañera or something, or, like...
The only people he gets to talk to Mexican are his family.
Spanish and
Like,
Spanish?
and the people in Indiana and stuff, like, that know Spanish, because I don't speak it, and he lives in Ohio now, and my son's there.
He is American, then. So, like, he is not Spanish. He is American.
And he even complains that,
Americano.
We were singing...
Well, okay, so Spanish and Mexican aren't the same thing, just to be clear here.
We were singing songs in the car, and it was funny because we listen to Mexican songs and, you know, it's full Spanish and stuff, because I be digging it, whatever, I'll vibe, I love you, babe, you can listen to your songs, whatever. But he's like, I can't do it. I can't do the accent. Like, he can't keep up with some people because he can't do the accent. Like, his voice is so American. Some people are like, you know Spanish, right? Like, they be like,
so you know some Spanish languages are different throughout Central America.
It's literally just
South
like
America.
English dialects. It's Spanish dialects.
They'll have a different way of saying things.
100%. And it's crazy to me to think that people don't understand that. Like, and even parts of...
You want to hear my best Spanish accent?
In Florida, there are 4 different dialects, if not more, because the top, the middle, and the bottom all have different ways of saying things.
What the heck? My best Spanish accent?
Go ahead.
Costa Rican radio.
What the fuck was that? Oh my god.
That was terrible.
That was terrible.
I'm glad that is on camera.
No. Like, when I was down in Costa Rica, I learned more Spanish down there than I did in Spanish class in high school. You go through those classes, you don't learn shit, and then you go to a different country that speaks Spanish. I listen to Costa Rican radio every night and just how they roll the R's on Costa Rican radio.
You know, it's funny because our son tries to like roll his R's and he's like, Marcos, like he can't even do, I'm sorry, I can't even not do it. He barely does it. It's like, Marcos, Madidicos, like, I don't know, it's hilarious the way he tries to say it, but I'm like, like, that's how you do it, like, and he cannot do it. Like, it's so hilarious to me. But I don't have, like, a good...
I didn't say it was going to be a good Spanish accent. I said it's my best.
I don't have an accent either. I just know that the most Spanish I speak is actually at my Wendy's job when I'm talking to the fry guy. And I'm like, grande papas fritas, por favor, señor. Come on, andale. And I'm just having so much fun with
He's
it.
probably over there with those fries like, you white ass bitch.
Like
you.
he's white too. Most of the time, the person standing there is a tall white bitch. So like I'm like, it's just hilarious to me because
He's like, I've never wanted to shank someone or throw a shoe at someone so bad.
Oh my god.
He just pulls out of his loafer and just throws a sandal out of nowhere.
There's a guy that comes through, and it's always funny because he likes to talk to Johnny, and he'll just say some like nonsense Spanish that none of us understands, and all of us will over here be like, no comprende, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Dude,
How
it would
you?
be funny to listen to like a hillbilly Spanish person. You know how we have like hillbilly Americans that you understand every other word, and you're like, I don't even know what you just said, but it ended with fight. Like the last word he said was fight for some reason. I didn't understand anything else. But like, imagine a Spanish person doing that. Like,
I mean, I can't understand half of any of it. Like, I don't know. Like, I try to catch words here or there, like, because I do know, and I've got, you know, like, Babbel, so I've tried to learn some things.
I don't know how I got away with down in Costa Rica being a tico. Like, a tico is a local person there. Like, that's a local term for a person down in Costa Rica is a tico. And every day I had fucking locals come up to me like, you tico? You tico? I'm like, sometimes I'd go with it and sometimes I wouldn't. Because it's not bad. It's not
like,
good to
am I
laugh.
ever going to see these motherfuckers again? Yeah. Offer beer.
That's hilarious.
Like, so I got away with being a
Oh,
local
hell
down
no.
there sometimes. Like, one prime story. I'll make it a short story. It's a longer story. But me and my buddy went out to the bar, partied all night, ended up going to the beach instead of back to our
you can
place.
finish, sorry.
Instead of our place, and we ended up going to the beach. There was a fire with a bunch of locals there. There was a Jamaican guy there from Jamaica, and he was like, "You Tico?" And I'm like, "I'm not Tico. He's Tico." My buddy, as soon as we got to the beach, passed the fuck out. Like, he got there and passed the fuck out, and I'm up there. I'm just sitting with our locals, and the dude was like, "You Tico?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not Tico. He Tico." And he was like, "He not Tico. You Tico." And I was all like, "All right."
Sorry, my brain's like firing off, and I still want to talk about this. But what do you guys think about the fact that I just took one? Oh my god, take that.
Does it have to do with communism? No.
Fascism, actually. It has to do with the fact that, like, people who have studied fascism, like, for years, people who've wrote books on fascism and things like that have fled the country because they're like, actually, fuck that shit. Like, where do you think, like, with the things that, like,
A lot
Trump
of smart
has
people did
implemented,
that.
Like, what do you think? Like, because I really, truly think that, like, it is beneficial for them because I feel like I am somewhat know what's going on, and I'm kind of terrified to live here right now, but I have no choice. But, like, at the same time, like, what do you think that we're headed towards fascism with the way that Trump wants just all power?
I think
he doesn't
we've been
like
in fascism for a while. It's just a kind of a secret fascism.
Period.
So it's not just Trump. You keep on lagging Trump in with the whole thing. And it's not like...
Well, I haven't said Trump, but you're right.
You did just say Trump.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well, it's been for generations. I know that. Like, I wanted to go back and talk about that, too. I know it's been for literally generations. Like, from almost the beginning of, like, our creation, like, of the colonists and how things started with the first, you know, George Washington and stuff like that. But I wanted to go deeper. That's why I said, should I go deeper earlier when I, like, talked to him. But, like, I wanted to go deeper because... Shut the fuck up. Anyways, I want to talk about Tartaria. You know anything about Tartaria?
Let's go deeper.
No, you know nothing about Tartaria. Do you know anything about Tartaria?
The Tartarian Empire, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, so what do you know? Let's talk about it.
Well, I know that, like, so there used to be a
Talk
great
again,
empire that it's pretty much back in Roman times, or maybe even before Roman times. They built a lot of ancient, like advanced technologies and stuff like that. They believed in, like, the global. That's why, like, So did you know the World Fair?
It's still going on.
No, but they used to build their fairgrounds, if you want to call it that, historically, and they built meaning into it.
So I 100% believe in
I didn't know it was
Tartaria.
Asia.
No, 100%, because the Wall of China, it's actually the Wall of Tartaria. Have you ever seen the way that it's
That's
built?
on my bucket list to walk that.
The way that it's built is actually to protect Tartaria and not
Yeah,
China.
you know how they discovered that fact? Because the ports that you would like try
100%, yeah.
the holes in the wall
100%.
to see where like either to shoot something out of or to see people come was actually facing the other direction. So it was a wall to protect the other side, not China.
So, like, I 100% believe that everything that is being packaged and sold to us right now was already here. Like, not only did people discover, like...
Wait, what did... No, that's not... What? No. There's stuff still imported. That's why we have import tax and stuff like that.
Well, that's not what I meant.
Oh.
I meant, like, we had, like, all free electricity. Like, they had cars that, like, ran on renewable resources like water and other things.
And,
like, all the things that are being packaged.
And it was covered up and replaced, and, like, we're just blindsided with fake history. Yeah. Like,
because of the mud flood, 100%. Yeah, after the reset, like, people...
That's funny.
Cracked me up because I was reading Mud Flood as you said it.
No, yeah, because of the mud flood. Like, I have, like, gone on so many tangents. You don't understand. Like, I'll stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning obsessed with actually what's going on because 30 has just been my
mud
year.
flood like what with, like, Noah and his ark?
No. But, like, the mud flood is what happened last. Like, have you ever seen historical buildings that, like, have you ever heard of, like, people building towns, like, cities on top of cities? It's because of the mud flood. Like, the mud flood happened, and people had to just take these buildings and be like, oh, yeah, that was built in this time and this time. Personally, you want to ask me...
But not a lot here in America.
What do you mean?
The mud flood happened way before... we came to America.
Well, yeah, but Tartaria was covered with the mud flood, and we came here and took over buildings that had been built by them and just created history. You want to ask me? There's even evidence that we're not in 2025. We're in 1025, actually, and that's why.
She's talking about the Matrix. Right there. Oh, it was a joke.
I know. I was like, wait a minute. No, that's not
because
it.
in the Matrix, like the year is actually 100, 200, like it's 1,000 years.
Like, so in Tartaria, they had like the free electricity and like they had all kinds of renewable.
But we had greedy people come into play. And
yeah, 100%. Like
capitalize on.
So the Rothschilds and I'm so sorry, I'm a little drunk, so I can't remember all of the other names, but there are like 3 other families that control 100% of the narrative. Bless you, bless you.
Thank you.
100% of the narrative that we live by today, and for centuries they've actually controlled
It's not
us.
just the Rothschilds. Rothschilds is actually the end of that group.
I said there was like multiple. I just am too drunk to remember the names. There's like 5 other families. Anyways, I was like, there have been so many people that have systematically controlled us through greed and through money.
Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth, even? Wait a minute. Okay,
Yeah.
T, tell me.
Yeah, Queen Elizabeth's part of those families. Like,
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like if you think about it, the Queen of England's been around like for a long ass time.
Yeah. I hadn't heard of any of this shit.
You've never heard of the Tartarian Empire?
Nope.
See, like, this is stuff that I get stuck
So you
on
see old
because...
Cathedral buildings, like how they have giant like things going to the top, kind of like old churches, way old churches.
Cathedrals.
Cathedrals were built to grab electricity out of the atmosphere and suck them down into the
Have you
buildings
ever
and be
gone on a
distributed
tangent
throughout the-
about pyramids and what they're actually made for? And the fact that they're literally lined up with the stars, lined up with literally everything on Earth. And not only that, but there are more pyramids on America
It's actually
than there
one of the
are
last
in
7
Egypt
wonders
and
of the
Asia.
world.
That they started here in America. That's why there's so much of the Grand Canyon that's cut off. Because they actually found Egyptian hieroglyphics in a cave in the Grand Canyon, and they don't want nobody to know that the Egyptians were actually here in this country of America, this land. Nothing that we know in our history books is actually correct. And that is what's really fucking driving
Did you watch
me.
a history special? Sorry, who were you gonna say?
I will say I'm gonna play a little pushback here on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
A pyramid is like legit probably the most stable geologic structure that you can have.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I would say that it's not too much of a stretch to think that multiple civilizations could utilize a pyramid.
But that's why I believe in a global universe,
Did
a
you know
global
one of the-
civilization like Tartaria, because I wholeheartedly
So do you think
believe-
the Tartarian Empire has something to do with the pyramids? Because that's never really been gone into.
I believe 100% that they tapped into the pyramids' energy, because I believe that they were connected to the people who
They used
built the pyramids.
The Tartarian Empire didn't do it in that concept or way, though.
No. They didn't do it in that
Do you think
concept.
they had a part to play with the pyramids, though?
I feel like the pyramids are old enough that they came before the Tartarian Empire, but that I believe that they figured out how it worked, harnessed it, engineered it, and were able to give it through all of the buildings that they did, and the way that they did it, they were able to harness it. And
Did you know one of the largest pyramids in the world, the largest pyramid in the world, is in North America?
yeah, look, yes, like that is so
Down in
fucking
Mexico-
crazy.
down
I'm
in
so
Mexico
glad that you
somewhere.
know some of this, because the amount of fucking people that I don't have to talk about this, the amount of fucking rabbit holes I've been
Did you
down,
know
the
that,
amount of
DK?
people who think I'm
The
crazy.
largest pyramid in the world is down in Mexico somewhere. But like you can only see the top of the pyramid. The top of the pyramid still is pretty significant. It looks like the Aztec temple.
Mm-hmm.
But when they took like sonar and stuff like that, and it stretches down into the ground, larger than the Great Pyramids.
And it's not even that, because unfortunately all of the outer casing, the things
But-
that helped harness the energy,
but
including
is
the
that-
tip
is that
of
a
the
new fact
pyramids,
now?
have all been repurposed for their materials.
But is it new now that maybe the ones over in Egypt are bigger because of everything they've discovered, or we've let to be known now, like with the structures under the Great Pyramids?
I mean, if you understand sound and the way that sound works, I believe that people just got better at using sound to be
I
able
don't know
to
how
transfer
true that
things.
shit is, dude.
With the stuff that's under the pyramids?
Yeah, I don't think there's big structures because there's supposed to be like water in the fucking pyramids.
Well, back a long time ago, that region was full of water.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But how the fuck is there how you got that whole bed of water, but you got that whole
Well, civilizations probably knew how to
Like, what
build
it
underwater
just-
better than we do.
But did it just? I don't know, man.
I mean, that's a small
But,
defense.
like-
that's a small defense in that.
But
I don't
what-
know. I didn't live back then.
if it's just built to fill up with water, like what the fuck are you? What is it so?
Well, if water was just supposed to be part of the top part,
Then why is the whole thing full?
they could have used water benders to fucking flow the water up into the top of the pyramid.
I mean,
don't know.
if you ask me, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it wasn't about that, like, it fills up with water. Like,
it was supposed to be like a hydroconductor or what's the a water dam, like a dam.
Oh, damn.
It's supposed to be
Go
like
on.
use one of those. Like water flows through it, hits something, and then flows out the other side. That's why Nikola Tesla is so renowned now. Like Nikola Tesla is one of my idols. He built hydro things because he believed hardcore in the pyramids, and it was like a water conductor.
I mean, how can we sit around and just deny the fact that there was a person who created a car that could run on water, that there was Nikola Tesla who said that we could have energy for free and everything else.
And they're
Everything
all
that
gone
we
now.
know in America has been built off of capitalism and greed and being able... See, I told you. I'm so sorry. That was the first time, though. Being
It was
able
not the
to...
first time.
being able to make money off of everything that they have put in front of themselves. And that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I do so much to help people without expecting anything in return. And if you take one
What if
billionaire...
it's just smoke screen? What if it's just a smoke screen? Like they're trying to weed out the smart people. Like let's see who follows money, like Diddy did.
Dude, oh my goodness. I don't even want to talk about Diddy. Hold up. What the fuck? That fucking piece of cocksucking shit. He's a puppet.
Like Ellen
He's a fucking
DeGeneres
puppet.
did.
with fucking billionaires putting their hands up his fucking cocksucking ass and talking for him, okay? Like, no. He is the biggest puppet in American entertainment history right now.
Wait,
actually.
which famous person are we talking about?
Diddy.
We could be talking about any famous person.
Well, I believe that he has been
Were you a big Ellen DeGeneres supporter?
Well, okay, hold up. Hold up. When I was a child and my grandma watched Ellen, yes. But now, in the last at least 7 to 8 years, hell no.
It's funny that she went
I
off the
cannot
air
stand
like
that
5,
bitch.
10 years ago to be after all this started happening.
No, she fucking got kicked off the air because she was a fucking bitch to her staff. And then she moved
That's
to...
the real reason why they told us.
Yeah, she moved to England when fucking all the Diddy shit went down.
I
That's
mean,
what people are saying.
You want to tell me why?
Bitch fled
There's
the
a couple.
country.
There's a couple celebrities that fled the country because of the Diddy shit.
Yeah,
Oh my God, yeah.
And they blame it on
Tom
Trump.
Hanks.
Do you want to tell me why Trump hasn't released the Diddy files? Because he's on them. You know how many pictures he has with Epstein?
I thought this was crazy.
He's a fucking pedophile.
I thought this was crazy. So like Tom Hanks already had a past. Like there's been a past incident where he like did something with like a semi-minor and it got covered up. And he filed citizenship like not recently, like a long time ago. He filed recently a citizenship. He fled the country after the Diddy trials too. Tom Hanks filed citizenship in a country where you are allowed to be mentally handicapped. Like you get away with it. It's like a rule.
I don't think it's against the law to be mentally handicapped.
No,
here,
no,
though,
like
dude.
to be mentally handicapped in a way like if you touch kids, it's a mental disorder.
Tom, listen, I hate this part of the conversation because there are so many people actually that I am sad to say that our entire country has been built off of pedophiles, and our entire country has built off of
I was
a
surprised at Ashton
system.
Kutcher.
I'm not surprised, actually.
Well, I'm not surprised, but I'm just disappointed.
But, like, our country has been built off of entertainment. They used to have, like, people fighting each other in coliseums with lions. Now...
Wait, are we talking about Rome? Because we never fought people in coliseums with lions. What?
Okay, well, whatever. I'm just saying...
That's Rome, bro.
I'm
Like,
just saying that they created entertainment simply for the fact of entertaining the masses and distracting
Are you
them
saying
from
our
what's
country was founded on
happening.
capitalism? Because that may be true.
I mean, I'm saying that, like, the reason why the awards for the entertainment people look like the jester is because the jester is the person who entertains the masses and can give bad news to the king. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're
I'm surprised
entertaining
Kevin
the
Hart hasn't
masses.
been one of those people. Like Kevin Hart's like at the front of the broad. Like you've seen Kevin Hart a lot lately. He's
I
making
hate that man.
insults.
He's
making
wholeheartedly a
insults on like the whole
pedophile.
Diddy thing and like everybody else. He's making insults. But I am super surprised he is not one of the people who were at those parties.
Look, this is gonna
Dave
be,
Chappelle,
This
too.
is gonna be very hard for a lot of people to come to grips with, but we're gonna have to start separating like these people from their art, or we're not gonna like anybody for anything. Like you're never gonna be able to enjoy anything if you take all these people.
I'm not gonna
that
lie.
are
I'm one of those people that
making
still
stuff.
enjoy R. Kelly. Fly like a bird.
That's what I'm saying. You got to be able to separate
The person from the art.
Yeah, the art. It's like listening to Michael Jackson's the same way.
I actually
like
am a
you-
supporter
'cause-
for Michael Jackson. He did not do any of those things.
Period.
Like he was about purity. I like to believe it in my heart that he was about purity, and like there's been lots.
Wait, who?
Michael Jackson.
Stop it. Stop it.
Has there been solid evidence, concrete evidence?
You're telling me that an entire century's worth of
I could be wrong.
pedophiles
I could be wrong.
do not pin things on people to hide their own disgusting actions, because unfortunately I believe that we have been built on a systematic greed and pedophilic system for a long time.
But yes.
And it's something that we don't want to accept. But unfortunately, we've even watched dozens of Disney Channel people come out of being abused.
Not just Disney
and,
Channel people. There
well,
was
I
people
was just
before
getting
the Disney
started,
Channel
but period. Go ahead, preach.
There was people before the Disney people, like a long time ago.
Yeah, like, and just
I
because,
don't know, dude. I think Disney's been at it for a long fucking time.
like,
I think they might have
pedophilia,
been there when it started.
you know, just a little side note, the fact that Nickelodeon has green slime and green is, you know, the green screen.
That's my
type
favorite
thing.
color. I don't care what you say.
The green screen thing, though, how they can literally just turn that slime into whatever color they want, that's a little sus. That's a little sus to me, but it is what it is. Because they took little children and covered them in green slime that they could turn into the color of cum so that they could jack off to those lovely pictures. I, honest to God, think that all
I've
of
not
it,
heard of that one.
like,
Yeah, I gotta say,
I've never heard of that one.
yeah.
You're a freak.
I am not a fucking freak. I tell you that I just wholeheartedly believe
You
that
went
I
down
have
that
been,
rabbit hole where fucking the green ooze looks like cum? Like,
because it's the green.
I believe
it's
they
the
did it because it was funny
Tell
as
me
fuck.
it's not the exact green screen color.
Yeah, I mean, that has nothing to do with it looking like cum.
No, because they
Well-
can take that and use it in a system, in a computer system, as a green screen, and
Back
they can
20, 30,
change
40
that
years
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't have green screen.
Yes, they
40
did.
years ago.
Dude, shut the fuck
What
up.
the
Yes,
fuck?
Dude, they've been using green screen for fucking ever.
Look
dude.
up when green screen
You're telling
was
me
created.
40 fucking years ago?
Hold on, we'll find out now.
I would
All
say
I know-
30 years ago because we're 33 now. So Nickelodeon, they had, I would have to say,
All I know is that the stories even go back to, like, Pocahontas.
I did
and,
not
like,
know-
Introduced in the 1930s.
that's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Do
That's
you
crazy.
realize when I told you that the things that were in Tartaria are being prepackaged today? Do you know that back in the 1820s we had shit like fucking the printing of buildings, like how we see that lovely little thing where it comes across with the cement and
3D
it just
printer.
builds a building. They fucking already had that shit. They had cars that ran on renewable resources. They had electricity for everybody.
I do believe
and they
that
just
they
took
had
it all
lasers
away
and
and
shit back then.
monetized everything. What? Sorry.
I don't know about a green screen printing system, but I do believe they had in Tartarian times.
Oh well, but still, do you understand? Like 100 years is just
That'd be
super
a
short.
big ass machine over top of whatever.
I'll say that's just 100 years, dude.
Yeah, I was like, we're literally
Like,
right
yeah,
there,
Yeah, 4 fucking
and we're
years,
literally talking
and it'll
about
be-
we're literally talking about the 1920s. Okay, like that's what I'm saying. Talking about the 1880s even.
Chroma key. I've never heard of it as chroma key.
Chroma
What?
key? Yeah, I've never heard chroma key either.
Where are you seeing that word?
Right,
Right
there.
here.
Green screen technology, also known as chroma key, was first introduced
I've never heard
in
of
the
it as chroma key.
1930s. Early versions used blue screens.
Well, all
Go
I
down
know.
lower, like,
All I know is that if you guys don't believe that the government has technologies that they will never and systematically show us throughout the decades that they've already been using for
Damn,
a
dude.
century.
said 1800s. That's
That's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to tell you. Like, things have been here for so fucking long, and they don't want us to believe that. They want to skew our entire view of fucking history.
You
to
better
think,
just calm down about 2 notches until we have FBI helicopters swooping in.
Bro, I talk like this all the time. They
I'm
better
gonna tell-
come get
I'm
me.
gonna
They
say
better
you a
motherfucking
ringleader.
come get me because I'm not stopping.
I'm gonna. We better both point at her.
All right,
She's
no,
the
well, okay,
ringleader.
so we kind of went off on a huge tangent right there. Where is this tying into what you asked about, like,
What did I ask?
where the state of the world's going into with, like, a centralization of power and stuff? How does all this...
No, well, okay. Do you guys believe? Okay, so look up the definition of. Well, not the definition. Look up the steps that it takes for a country to move into fascism, because I want you guys to tell me whether you think that the government, like that Trump
That's
is
definitely
truly.
gonna get a red flag on the internet right there. Just bro.
If that's a red flag on the government, I promise you,
Yeah,
they should be
that's a red
knocking
flag.
it. They should be
Jesus
knocking at my
Christ,
door.
Look at the second fucking... The second... Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Political ideology with several key characteristics.
See that? Let me just stop. Fascist regimes often suppress opposition. Out of Trump's own mouth, he has said that any protests will be met
No,
with...
he did not. He did not say any protests. They did not say
I've seen
any
an entire
protests.
video of that man
No,
sitting
you
in
have
the
it backwards.
White House.
Look at fascist regimes often suppress optimism, promote materialism,
That
and
says
emphasize.
that says
Opposition. No, I'm telling you that
Okay.
Trump is not actually for people protesting. He does not think that is okay. Anyone who opposes him, he thinks is wrong. And that is a problem because the Constitution says that we are allowed
He says
to...
care more about the family.
He does not actually care about us. What are you talking about? You're telling me that one fucking billionaire could give up his money and actually end homelessness, but he cares about fucking
he cares
family?
about me more being a family.
No, he cares about billionaires. What the fuck are you talking about? Tell me how he cares about the family more than billionaires.
I think you're blindsided about the billionaire thing.
You're telling me that billionaires deserve to have all that money while
That's
we
not
literally
what I
live here
said.
looking like the fucking 3%? Go ahead, watch that, because I promise
That's
you
not
that's
what I
exactly
said.
where we're at. We're in the Hunger Games, for fuck's sake. They literally decided to say that there was going to be games to see if people could get their fucking, like, citizenship. Like rumors about that.
That sounds
like,
kind of cool.
Yeah, though that's I don't know where you heard that, but I guarantee you that's not true. They're not making games.
If they made
out
a
of it.
game like the Hunger Games, like you get your U.S. citizenship, and you fucking dude, you'd watch it. You watch?
You
Have
guys-
you
you
watched
guys-
Squid Games?
you guys-
Did you watch?
100%.
All right then.
Do you guys
All
truly
right,
not
then.
believe, though, that, like, that we're moving in, like, a truly bad direction? Like, let's read some more of this. Go ahead. Like, go back down. Here's a breakdown of some of the common steps and characteristics associated with the rise of fascism. Go ahead, go down.
It's gonna say Amanda.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay, hold on. Let me read this one. Cultivating a sense of crisis and fear. What are you doing right now? What are you accusing Donald Trump of doing right now? You're cultivating a sense of crisis and fear that Donald Trump is
Invokes
gonna
an enemy.
throw over. That's what we've been doing for 4 years. Like, that's all anyone can say is Donald Trump is literally a threat. Like, he's a threat to our democracy. He's a threat to you.
When all he's been doing is trying to make America better.
Like,
So tell me, hold on, okay, wait a minute. See, this is where the tables have turned, because I thought we were on the same page, and now I see the page has turned. So tell me how he's trying to make America better without trying to make it a military state, without trying to make it a fascist movement.
We've already been a military state.
He criminalizes
Our First Amendment
the
is
media
bear
because
arms.
he
Hold
thinks he criminalizes the media because he thinks that the media is all against him. Oh, it's fake news. It's fake news.
So you're
I'm
not saying-
sorry
What
that you're a
media-
narcissist and you don't like when we tell people the truth about you.
No.
But unfortunately, that's actually the factual truth, and you just don't like it.
Are you a firm believer?
But what? Okay, so what media companies are telling the truth about
He
him?
just criminalizes all of it. He just says that the media is lying.
Are you not a firm believer that the media just feeds you what they want?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This was like a whole.
But I know that there's legal and illegal things happening. I'm not sitting here saying that Trump is 100% wrong, but I don't like the steps that he's taking right now. So, like, I mean, when he says that the...
Not everybody's gonna like the steps. It's like working out. You might not like the steps that you have to work out, but you're gonna get a six-pack in the
Do
end.
you guys believe that the government controls the media? That they show
Yes,
you...
that's what you just cold-heartedly said. Like, you're believing what you hear off of media, but yet you don't believe what media feeds you.
But just like him, I go and I read articles, I look up things on the government websites, like I try and make sure that I'm going to reputable, like actual like websites that are supposed to be factual. Like, I'm not trying to be a one-sided pigeon here. That's why, like, I mean, when Trump...
Do you know what a lot of us Trump supporters do? When, like we just sit back and be quiet and just see what happens.
But that means that there's going to be no change, and you're just going to sit back.
No,
and-
there'll be change. There'll always be change.
Look. The first line, create a sense of crisis. They may exaggerate threats to national security or economic stability.
So you're telling me that the COVID crisis was 100% real, and him doing an experimental drug on the public was actually legal because he decided to create a problem?
Trump didn't? No.
No, that's not Trump.
Yeah, and I would say Trump
That was the
didn't-
FDA.
No, it's the 1% above him, absolutely, that's connected to the FDA. 100%. He's a puppet. Trump is a puppet, so go on.
But Trump didn't
Incite
do
the
anything.
crisis.
He just didn't get in the way of
He
the
also
vaccine.
didn't do anything to prevent
But
it.
he's well, who was gonna stop a vaccine from being made? My big question about that is why the fuck did you make a vaccine so fast on the
free.
behest of somebody that you don't like, but then 6 months later you fucking have to take that or you lose your job. You can't do anything. You have to wear that mask now. You can't go into
Because
that
it's
building
all a
without
sense of
that
control.
mask.
They were trying to see how much they could get away with. Why do you think in other countries there have been mass blackouts? Like the next crisis that's supposed to happen is supposed to be like an AI international full blackout for
Can
the
I
whole
just say I
country.
had a friend in another country that said the COVID was a serious thing. It wiped out a lot of people in his country. And he says, you're stupid if you don't get the COVID vaccine because that actually helps people down here. So I have factual proof of someone saying it actually
But it's
made
a
a
gene
difference.
therapy and it's not
I
actually
don't,
a vaccine.
Gene therapy, is that your own research?
I mean, I've looked, yeah, like I
No,
I don't
I'm just having factual proof of saying, like, I had a friend that lived in Costa Rica, which is a third world country down in Central America. It's near fucking South America. And he said that the COVID vaccine actually helped down there. And people that weren't getting it were dying.
But see, that's the thing. Like, they don't have the same standard of living that we
don't.
have here.
So it's very more
But
grimy.
like, so that's the whole
Their
thing.
mortality
too.
is
Like,
already higher than here.
we're given vaccines that we don't need to people that don't need it.
That's not what I said, though.
Well, that's no, but that's what I'm trying to say is like I get what you're saying, but there are actually people that probably need that vaccine.
Yeah.
But like they you know like it's a good idea for people that need that vaccine to take it. But if you don't
They didn't make
if
it
you don't have
mandatory to
any
take it,
outlying
though.
problems,
They didn't
you
make
know,
it mandatory to take it here in the U.S., though. It was up to your own discretion.
No,
I mean,
it wasn't.
I'm unvaccinated for the COVID vaccine.
No, it was
I've not taken any of the
mandated.
shots.
Like you had to do it, dude. People lost their jobs over that shit.
That's why I
Like, it
hear.
was a job.
There was a lot of that shit that was mandated.
That's a job. This person can always find another job.
Yeah, but in droves like that, especially because it was in such specialized, like, dude, they did it with
I
fucking
think,
nurses,
honestly, in my
man.
opinion, it was a testing.
It was fucking. Oh,
It was
yeah,
test to
for
see
sure.
how far they could take things. 100% how far they could.
It was a testing. That's lay it down flat as that. It was a major testing.
To see how far they could control
It
and shut
wasn't
down
like
the country
smallpox. It wasn't like the
without
smallpox
us.
vaccine. It wasn't like chickenpox vaccine. Like those are actual vaccines. That's where I draw the line at. COVID wasn't a vaccine. It was like a flu shot.
There are droves and droves of people who now know
Well,
that COVID was not the way that it was exaggerated as, that it's exactly like the flu. And yes, of course, when the flu was introduced, there are going to be people that die, okay? And just like when COVID came, there are going
The
to be
flu
people that
was a
die.
big
But
thing
a
back in the
gene
day.
therapy is not what
Don't-
was needed.
Don't do that. You're gonna hear that on that microphone.
The flu was a big thing
My
back in
bad.
the day.
Right. And it always is right in the beginning, 100%.
Bag.
South Park reference.
Oh, shit. But here, go down. Let's see more of this.
This is where you need a camera on the other side.
See,
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying.
our social medias are
You thought about that
restricted.
too?
Our social medias are restricted and scrubbed of things that are oppositions. Like they're trying to make it seem
And
like
who- and
most of the protests are violent when they're not actually violent. Like they're trying to entice fear and to get people to literally see the propaganda, this is a violent protest. My mom has only seen violent protests. She didn't say anything about any single peaceful protest at all because
Read the
her
second.
Facebook.
Read that control of the media. Read it very slowly. Read it out loud.
So you're saying that we're not literally surveyed through our phones?
No,
and
no.
our-
Read control of the media very slowly. Fascist regimes. Simply read it very slowly.
restrict freedom of speech. So you're telling me that
And press using propaganda to shape public opinion. So the news right now shapes you using propaganda.
but the government controls it 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, I agree with that. That's the problem, is that they use the media and the propaganda to divide
But all
the
your
country.
opinions right now are off the media.
So think about that then. If the government controls the media, then why is the media on a campaign against the government?
Because it's all for entertainment.
This is not the. But So I'll go back to COVID with this one, with the restriction of the freedom of speech. Like, how many people got censored for saying that it might have been a lab leak? Like, people
that's
were,
because they didn't
publicly shamed. Like, people got in trouble for not wearing masks, and then it came out that masks didn't really do what it said. Like, any masks did what nobody said. But people were censored for that. People were taken off Twitter for that. People were taken off Facebook.
See, but why are anybody censored? That's literally that. Restrict freedom of speech. If we're censored for anything, they're restricting our freedom of speech. It does not matter.
Well,
if they're so afraid of people talking the truth and then they want to restrict us, they're the problem.
But how is the Trump administration suppressing them?
Nobody got restricted.
Yeah, I would say, because I hear that a lot. Is they say one of the arguments is the suppression of freedom of speech, but I've never once seen the Trump administration tell somebody you can't say that.
Because that's what you don't understand.
They might delete posts, but they make a lot of posts. Like Trump, he makes as many posts as he wants.
Just as much as the government is scrubbing things from the social media, you say that how are they, because they literally look through that shit and they scrub it of things that they don't want to see.
So how many posts have you made that have been scrubbed?
I haven't made posts. That's the problem. It's other people who are saying, dozens of people saying, this post was scrubbed, this post wasn't allowed, this post wasn't allowed.
No post is ever scrubbed. I will say this for a fact. No post has ever been scrubbed. It's been covered up or misled. How many times has a president, let's say a president, has been asked a question and they just don't respond?
Many. It's because they've all been systematically there to...
Well, like Bill Clinton.
To do what they needed to do.
Okay, so my whole thing about this is for 4 years, and people are probably gonna get tired of hearing about this, but this is just where I started following shit and what I seen, because, and honestly I'd say it was probably because of Nikki, because she was the only one that I've ever been with that was any kind of political, and they were all against Trump. They were anti-Trump in the 2016 election and shit like that. And I just got to kind of hear what they wanted. And it's always a
propaganda.
Well, I mean, but the right does the same fucking thing, dude. It's not just one side using propaganda and then the other side's just all good. The right does it too.
Period.
But all I've seen, I've not been able to see all these, terrible fucking misdeeds because, I try not to, when big stuff's happening with politics, especially now with Trump. Anything that happens, they're oh, no, just what Trump says. They're oh, Trump said this, Trump said that. I'll go watch it for myself.
Pick it apart.
I don't want to watch.
Pick it apart.
I don't want to watch a 5-minute
If you watch the full thing, it's not like what they show you. Right?
Oh, right, right.
But big picture is definitely different.
Yeah, but I don't see these type of things out of the Trump administration. I don't see them suppressing free speech.
You truly don't think that the government...
If they were suppressing free speech, we wouldn't be talking about the mass riots and mass protestations that are happening over in California right now. They would be suppressing that and filming.
No, the problem is that they're filtering it so that you see the things that the police are doing. The police are enticing danger.
I watch live feeds.
That's not the government, though. The government's not hey, YouTube, only show these videos to people. That's YouTube. That's TikTok. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's their algorithms. Their algorithms are they're gonna push you the most extreme shit because that's what everybody's gonna react to. That's what you're gonna get views on. That's how you're gonna sustain yourself on those platforms. You're not gonna see people that you're oh yeah, these guys, they might have a good thing. Like, that's not what social media is pushing.
So what do you guys say about, like, the veterans and people who are turning against Trump, saying this is
I have not seen one.
I've not seen any,
I
like...
see dozens of them
I have
on
not.
my Facebook.
I go to the Eagles and I go to the VFW and I have not met one veteran
Okay, well-
that has turned against Trump.
Okay, well, I honestly don't give
Seen.
a shit about this podunk little fucking Trump-loving town that has a lot of fucking
But
rich
see,
white folk in fucking Catawba.
You can't
I'm talking
think
about,
it
like, other...
that. Like, those...
You're telling me that people in this town are wholeheartedly for Trump and are literally just white, silver spoon fucking folk? You're telling me that that's not this town?
I'm telling you, you don't know, like, 90% of these people. Like, this is what I don't like about the whole campaign on either side, is this just destruction of somebody because you voted for Donald Trump or you voted for Kamala Harris. Like, I could give a fuck less who anybody in this town votes for. That's not, like, being...
I'm not dehumanizing people for voting for them.
Your political
just did.
view...
What do you mean?
Your political view or who you voted for doesn't mean that you support everything that every radical person on that side, you know, goes with. Everything has two sides. Like, not everybody voted for Donald Trump because they wanted people deported. Not everybody voted for Donald Trump because they wanted an overhaul of the fucking education system. Like, not everybody votes for that person for the same exact reason. Everybody's got differing points of view.
But
This whole, like, in wholly on one side and then the other side's just completely wrong is terrible. I hate it. I don't like
I mean, I've already said that I know that both parties do good things, so I'm confused. I have to go back. How did I dehumanize people? What did I say?
You exactly said, like, I don't agree with Donald Trump in anything he does. Like, you demoralize. You said, like, you weren't going to do that, but literally the thing you said before that contradicts.
I think
Well, I
it's
need to use my words-
just the way you described it. This podunk Trump supporting
Town.
mother loving town.
Yeah, and then you said, and then the words you
Yeah,
said
it's like-
after that completely negates what you just said. It did. And I'll have to strongly agree with that. Like,
Again, came here to be educated. Not mad. My bad. Like, you're right. Like, I can't just profile someone just because of,
you completely
like,
profiled somebody and said I don't, and then after that you said I don't profile anybody. You just exactly what you just did.
Okay.
Keeping an open mind keeps an open mind. You say, okay, yeah, like
I was like,
agree if
I'm
you're
only
so
30
judged.
and I'm definitely not perfect. Like I said, like, I'm trying my best to control my emotions and truly
And
get
that's
educated.
okay.
So
That's okay. We're all every day we're all getting educated.
yeah. So, like,
Okay, so I'll go a little bit deeper into all this stuff because, like, these are things that I actually paid attention for. Because, okay, so a lot of what you hear about Donald Trump in media is, all right, we have a convicted felon as the president. Like, that's one of the biggest things ever. But have you ever sat down and read the charges that he's convicted of?
I have not sat down and read. No.
Well, like, a lot of them, they're not even a lot of them aren't even felony charges. A lot of them are misdemeanor stuff.
In the beginning,
that
I was
that
not
have
a
been
Trump
trumped
supporter.
up.
In the beginning, I was less of a Trump supporter than I am now. That's a better way to put it. Because in the beginning, I seen a video.
I voted
where-
for Hillary in 2016.
I have not voted for anybody since Obama, but that's just beside the point. So, like, the very first things I seen about Trump, and like even before he became president, the first time, was he is a good businessman. I'm not gonna say a bad one. He's more of a good one than a bad one.
is a good businessman a person who, like, defiles
That's
bankruptcy
just
multiple
how I'm
times?
saying, like, how I seen the situation.
Well,
So-
he's also been in business for like 60 fucking years.
yes,
Okay.
and America's one big
And,
business.
and think about it. If you're just in the business and you're fine, how many billionaires do you know that just haven't ever filed bankruptcy?
Yeah, but he has filed bankruptcy a bunch of times.
And it's not even okay. So it's not even technically Donald Trump that's filing bankruptcy either. It's just businesses that he's owned, and it's not like
He has owned more than 100 businesses.
like well,
And that's what I was getting at in the beginning of my conversation. He has owned more than 100 businesses, or been in participation with businesses more than 100 times. There's
so he's
12
not
businesses.
a billionaire by accident, is what I'm saying.
No, he's
Like,
lost more times than he's received.
People don't like him, obviously, and I think a lot of it's political because honestly, I can't think of anybody that was snarky or mean about Donald Trump.
I would have to
before
say
he
this:
tried to run
would you
for
want
president.
a person coming into presidency that knows how to do business, or knows how to talk to people?
But does the person who knows how to do business file bankruptcy multiple times?
Yes, but he has also been zero, and he's been billionaire more than billionaire status. Like, he has done more than 100 businesses. Most of them have failed, but there's been 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
I wouldn't
businesses.
even say most of them have failed.
From the video I seen, most of them have failed. Like, he's tried over 100 businesses. Trump water, Trump fucking hotels. Like, there's been multiple businesses he's been in.
It's already packed. You guys are slacking.
See, that's the stuff that really bothers me. But at the same time, I'm not trying to exactly talk about that. I guess I just know.
If we're talking about our economy's been bad for a long time.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, our economy has been
businessman?
personally built on a systematic system of slowly making it so that everyone is a slave under the government. Like, even people...
That's besides the fact. That's a whole new topic. We're just talking about making this country better.
I actually was talking about all of that, but you can go ahead and, go ahead and say
No,
your point.
I think Donald Trump, sometimes, I believe full-heartedly it's got to be worse before it's better. There's always a fucking...
But here, go down. Let's see. People who are actually documented
I'm surprised they
are
don't have your
being
name in there.
imprisoned, and they think that the violence is coming from the peaceful protest, but it's really coming from the police who are in the government's pocket.
Where is she reading
not
this?
Saying
I
that the
didn't
government...
see any of those words
Not
up
saying
there.
that the police is 100% in their pocket, but there are people who are out there systematically
I don't even
trying
see
to
the
make
word
it
police.
look like the police. Because I'm saying that the detention and imprisonment, that happens by the police.
You can't read it off word to word and say words that are not up there.
Well, I mean, we can read and know what she's talking about, though.
Thank you so much for appreciating that. But, that's what I'm saying. And so, centralized leadership, fascism typically involves a charismatic, authoritarian leader who embodies the will of the nation. Here, go down one more little bit.
Well, hold on. Arbitrary detention and targeting. Key individuals or groups perceived as threats may be subjected to arbitrary detention, imprisonment, or even violence. So... this is where it comes into when I was asking about if you've ever sat down and read the things that Trump is charged with, the felony that they're charging him with, because you can look up these charges and then you can compare them to other people who had the same charges, but they're charged as misdemeanors, not felonies. But because it was Donald Trump and they didn't want him to run for office for 4 fucking years, they did nothing but how many times did they try him? How many times did it take them
But can you agree?
And he's still president.
I mean, I was literally talking to someone the other day, and I said that people who have money and connections will always win. Do you agree with that?
I would believe the side that's fighting against him has more money and power.
Against him?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'd say that more billionaires, more rich people are on the fucking
Other side of Trump.
opposite side.
The people that wanted him not to be president are
People who are
richer
getting
and more
tax breaks
powerful.
because of him are against him? Wait a minute, what do you mean?
No. That's you're getting propaganda right there.
Okay, so these everybody says tax breaks for the rich, tax breaks for the rich, but that's not really what's happening. Like they're not just saying.
How much harder is it for anybody to get a place to rent? Like the more tax breaks are happening on us.
Yeah, like it's not like these places, they get tax breaks, like the corporates get tax breaks, but that's the only way they get more money. That's the only way they're going to get this money that they can actually spend on their companies, because you're not going to increase the tax on corporations by 25% and they're just going to take their fucking backup spending money and be cool with it. Like, but if you lower their tax rates, you lower their regulations, that lets them hire more people. That lets them be innovative, you know? They don't have to push so fucking hard. They have more to distribute.
I mean, I guess, again, I'll just put this out there, okay, guys? I do live in the Delulu, okay? And I just want things to be a situation of...
Where we're all happy. That's the fantasy world.
Well, it's not we're all happy, but can you guys sincerely agree with the fact that the 1% has the majority of our money and they control and literally fund everything that we do? There are 5 companies, if you look into it, that give money back and forth. 5 companies that control America. I mean, maybe it's a couple more, but there are literally 5 companies
Protests
that
aren't going to
own
change it.
absolutely everything.
Protests aren't going to change it.
But let me just ask you this. So in the last 100
We
years...
need the beekeeper.
In the last 100 years, we've seen as much change as we have with people with disabilities, women, black, Mexicans, everybody getting their rights, okay? In just 100 years of our history. And so you're telling me nothing else can be done. You're telling me that everything that is being done right now with the millionaires, the money, and how much that they owe, like one billionaire could give up their paycheck for a year and solve world hunger.
So you know, in the last 500 years, what?
But those are only number figures. Like, that's, just the paper plan. You actually have to have a way to distribute this food.
But there would...
To be able to, you might be able to solve world hunger, but for how long?
Why do they systematically make it harder for people to live on the streets with literally anti-homeless fucking properties that they build in their communities?
Did you know
but
there's
they
actually
also don't
more...
want to help those homeless people.
Did you know there's actually more homes that are not being used in America than there are homeless people?
Yeah, because people don't want to repurpose them, and people who are homeless don't have the money to rebuild those homes. They don't even have enough money to go.
But why
to the
doesn't the
fucking
government come up with some type of program to make
Because
them
the
have
government is completely against us. Please tell me how they're not.
I don't think the government needs to be...
They're utilizing us. We're leeches.
We are slaves. That we're 100%, all of us
leech is different than a
systematically,
slave.
on 100% of people in America are actually slaves. There's people in other countries who are rioting in the streets in solidarity with the things that we are protesting for. How is that? Like, what is... Tell me how is our government systematically completely for us? Tell me how that works.
Because on the Goofy movie, there was this thing called the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
I think it's a state's job.
Because everything is entertainment to keep us entertained, to keep us slaves, and keep us dumb and entertained.
But I don't think that's exactly what's going on. Like...
You don't think that there's things that... Okay, let me
That's
just go...
not
Hold up, I have something
You're
big.
bending it.
Let's go far back. Do you guys think that 9/11 was an inside job, or do you not? Because I wholeheartedly believe that the 9/11 was an inside job because they needed to...
Allegedly. Allegedly.
they needed to reform the buildings because of asbestos and other things
You're gonna
like
get red
that.
flagged.
And it was billions of dollars. And they couldn't afford that. So they just decided to bring the country together and blame Arabians and say, oh no, it was an Arabian. And yet we still... I don't care. Any single architect,
They
people
made
who
us-
build buildings said the way that building fucking fell was not the way a building would have
I
fell.
will have
With
to
just
say,
a fucking
I'll have to
plane
say it
falling
wasn't an
into it.
inside job. We don't have to go in depth to like BK. You can mention something, but like, yes, it was an inside job. Yeah, but it was.
That's all I needed.
But it might be for deeper reasons that you don't know of.
I mean, but that's fair, but that just literally solidifies my belief that everything that we know has been systematically controlled and changed by the people who have won our wars, and nothing that we actually know is 100% truly factual.
I was actually going to say this about 20 minutes ago, but what BK had to say had to stop me. But did you know the greatest accomplishments or scientifically achievements that we've had has been because of wars or some other, like, there's three fields. There's wars, there's two other things, I can't think of them, but those things that happen here on Earth as our society, like, those things happen, scientifically something comes out of it.
I need you to actually tell me what came out of those wars, because that doesn't make any sense.
The Manhattan Project.
Technological advances. is what
Technological
you're saying.
advances.
Like you can't say that the wars didn't leap technology forward everywhere. I mean, like we got
Something that
we
happened
got newer
dramatically.
airplanes out of it because of all the technological advances. Like we got nuclear energy out of it
So you
because
think
of the
that it
atomic
has-
bomb. Like just
Anything
in
that
time-
dramatically
it's not even
happened in a
just-
bad way
you don't
here
even
on
have
Earth.
to have it as a war. It's just in times of peril, you know.
Times of
But-
peril, something great comes out of it. That's
because
been a
you have
proven
to
fact.
do it to survive. Like,
That's a proven fact. Like, something fucking scientifically advanced happens when something dramatically happens.
So us lower class people know that, and yet you don't think that systematically the government has created situations to bring people together to advance the world?
You just... yes and no.
Because I
Oh,
hope,
no and yes. I'm going to say no
Like-
and yes.
I don't know, like I believe that. Like I believe technological advances have happened because of that. But also, do you know how many technological advances have happened because of foreigners? Because of a person from Germany, because a person from France was
that's
here in
inclu-
America
that's-
and became a professor
That,
and learned
that's
some
just
shit.
that's just an additive to what I had to say.
Well, I'm sorry, what was it?
That has a part to play in what I had to say. Like,
I just don't remember. I'm so sorry. What did you say?
so wars in the world, any type of like very monumental thing has happened in the world. Yes, foreigners have a part to play in it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I'm
It's
sorry,
not
I
just
didn't realize
America.
it. Yeah, absolutely. Because we were built off of foreigners. And there's so many foreigners that come here that do such great things that never get credit.
A lot of geniuses have happened overseas. Like,
100%. Absolutely. That's another reason why I don't understand. America's supposed to be a melting pot, but now we just dehumanize people from other places. And yet we were built
Because we
upon
keep
the
people
backs. Huh?
we keep people down.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. But I also know that I have a heightened sense of justice. And I know that I live in the Delulu, and I know that not everything is
You call it
possible.
the Delulu?
Yeah, the Delulu. And I know that not everything is possible in today's day and age, but I'm not trying to change everything in the next 30 years that I'm going to be alive. And I think people think that I want to do that. I just want to be educated. I want to learn the true history. I want to know where we came from and understand people's minds to be able to help them through life and just literally live a better life.
Don't trust her.
You're funny. Is it so bad? Is it so bad to want to just affect people with my voice? Like, I just love music, and I feel like I can articulate my words in a way, and I'm
Do you know
learning
any
how to control
instruments?
my emotions in a way that
you know
I
any
could truly
instruments?
make a difference just in my community. What?
You know any instruments?
I've played the flute, yeah.
The skin flute.
The what? Shut the fuck up! No, the real flute, bitch, and I've also sang my whole life.
Don't believe her.
I really have to go pee, though, so I'll be right back, guys.
Don't believe her. She says.
Shut the hell
She's
up.
a robot. I swear she's a robot.
Ugh.
More real than you'll ever be.
Robot talk!
Yeah. So programmed.
She's not even going to the bathroom. She's
Shit, they're fucking throwing shit around.
emptying credits.
Call me a fucking robot. Ah! She's gonna tear the toilet in half.
She's an oil leak.
See, she
This robot talk.
Oh man. It's just, I don't even want to hit that. I don't know why I'm looking at it.
Because it seems like something you want to hit.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, let's just get on another subject.
Yeah. It's probably a good idea.
Power Rangers or Naruto or something.
No.
Have you seen the small videos lately of like Power Ranger characters like hitting another character? And they're like, oh!
No.
You haven't seen...
I don't think so.
Yo, it's been a thing lately. Like old Power Ranger season characters will like seem like they're fighting and like punch the screen.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I have seen those. Yeah. I do know what you're talking about. I haven't seen a lot of them. I think I've only seen one.
Have you been truly happy with the live action One Piece?
Listen, I'm always a person who loves. I love the world. I love a lot. Okay, my heart is.
Have you
open
been
to a
truly
lot.
happy with it?
100%. I cannot wait for the next season to
She
come
is
out.
fucking high.
No, you don't understand.
You're high and drunk. Like,
There's so many people who don't appreciate it, but I don't give a fuck. Did you see Zoro?
yeah.
Did you see
He
Zoro?
seemed like a pussy compared to the anime series. I said what I said.
Nah, brother.
I said
don't
what I
know.
said.
I am a person who loves all kinds of B-rated movies, D-rated movies, whatever the fuck you want to call it, Rotten Tomatoes, negative points. And I just think that people don't understand how to appreciate different types of cinema and different types.
All right. I'll show you an actual B-rated movie. It's Attack on Titan. It was a live action Attack on Titan movie. They
Live
did.
action.
Yeah, live. What's the word for it then?
It's just live action, not alive action.
Live action, and it'll blow the One Piece series out of the water.
Does that mean that she can't like the One Piece series though?
No. Was she called? No, the live. I asked her opinion on the live action series, and it's just like if you watch Stand By on the anime, it has nothing to compare with the anime.
All I know is that I understand, I appreciate the live action for what it is. I know it's not going to have all the details, like how people like watch the cinema and they're like, they left out this many details and this many details and this. I can appreciate the book and the cinema for the different types of entertainment that they are. And I know that people want to compare, but comparison is literally the death of enjoyment. I have had way too much therapy to literally just sit here and try and compare myself to others or other books or other movies or other this. And like to me, I just judge things individually by how they are. I love One Piece for what it is. I love listening to the backstories and actually having all the details. Like I never thought that I would watch a fucking show with 1,000 episodes, but here I am completely addicted on the edge of my seat waiting for the next episodes. But
And you're saying the live action does justice.
I think that the live action did justice in its own way. If you think of a live action in its own cinema, in its own section,
So
then
will you have a different
appreciate
opinion
it.
if you see other animes have live actions and it do a justice to what I'm talking about?
I think that it all
Have you seen
depends
another
on-
live-
I think you're still comparing.
Now, have you
that-
seen other live action adaptations of animes and made a justice comparison?
I mean, I've seen a couple, yeah, but I haven't seen a lot of them, I guess. So, like, I mean, I have a small opinion. Like I said, I do know that I have seen the One Piece one. I'm one to love B-rated things, and I appreciate things for their individual things. I know, watching, from before I even watched it, I know that watching the One Piece live action, they can't do all the crazy fucking animated things.
That's why the whole Zelda thing is gonna.
I learned that Odin loved the Looney Tunes. I learned that Odin loved the Looney Tunes, and that's why in Fifth Gear, Luffy is as Looney Tune. Sorry, as Luffy is as Looney Tune as he is, and I can appreciate that. Do you think that they can do that in a live action? Maybe not, but I can appreciate the live action.
Yeah, what's he gonna do when he goes into third gear? What's he gonna do when he goes into third gear and he becomes shrunken as a small human?
I mean, like that.
They're gonna do something with it. I mean, it's not gonna just be. It might be
comparison
complete horseshit.
is the
I will
death
send you
of
at least
joy,
one.
and I'm not comparing the live action to the show because that's not what it was meant for. It was meant for.
It was not meant to actually adaptation to the animation. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, people are running out of creativity, and I'll agree with that, but it was not meant to be a recreation of.
That's what it's exactly supposed to be.
I think
it was supposed to be more of like a spin-off.
Oh, live action?
Like, do you really think that any live action can compete with something that is animated? No, you're living in the delusional.
There's been very few, and that's why, like, I'm gonna send you something here in a couple days, like Attack on Titan. There's a live movie where it blows that live action out of the water. This live action is very corny compared to that.
Well, you're talking to a person. You're talking to a person who is in love with life, in love with art, in love with media, in love with the things that give me dopamine. I don't just look for triggers. I look for glimmers. Okay, things that make me happy. Like, I'm able to find joy in the little things in life, and to me, I love One Piece for all of the intricacies that it has. And I love the fucking live action for just making me feel like I'm inside of the story.
It's like when they make live action Dragon Ball or live action Naruto.
I'm not saying that it lives up to the story of One Piece. I'm simply saying that I appreciate it for what it is.
I think it's an insult.
I thought that the last Airbender movie was a fucking insult. That movie was fucking terrible.
It was better than the Dragon Ball movie.
I don't know about that, dude. It might be right there. I don't know if
I would have to say it's at least right there.
Dude, I don't know if I could say one of them's better than the other one though. I don't know if
the Avatar movie was at least a step up more than the Dragon Ball series. The Dragon Ball Z movie live action.
They were both garbage, dude.
That's what makes me scared about Zelda happening or fucking Naruto happening and all those. That makes me way nervous.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the Zelda idea.
Just take solace in the reason why all of these are happening is because nobody has creativity anymore.
Someone made a movie.
So if you don't like it, you don't have to take it personally.
This is an idea.
Well, no, it's just that not everybody is creative. So most people are piggybacking off of everybody else.
If they made
That's why we're getting
orchestra.
so many remakes and stuff. Because there's not so many original ideas coming out right now. Because everybody's in this mode of like, oh, let's just... This was super popular. Let's go just make it look a little bit cooler.
But I think
we'll get a whole bunch of money.
I agree with that.
I think we're in a whole new generation, though, like, of where there really aren't any creative ideas. We're all relying on other things to give us ideas, things that already have been recreated. Like, and, again, this goes back to my conspiracy theorist shit, but, like, if you ask the people who have made predictions for this world and things like that, this next century and things, like, it took us years. And then it took us 200 years to get into the AI generation from where we were. And if you can imagine how quickly we can slide into the AI, this is the next generation that we have to be worried about, the next blackout, the next takeover, the next war, whatever you want to call it, whatever thing may not happen in our generation or the next, but something is going to happen with the stuff that is going
Maybe
down
that's the reason I
right
haven't had
now.
kids. They're like, Corey, we want you to survive.
I mean, I'm going to be real with
Yeah.
you.
You don't have to worry about a kid.
I'm going to be real with you. I'm either the person who's going to have a 16-year-old and a 2-year-old, or I'm never having kids ever again, because that is exactly how the fuck I feel. I am terrified
Like, Corey, you
for
can
the
survive
direction that
longer
we're
in a
going.
zombie apocalypse if there's no baby around.
My son has a very heightened sense of justice. Like, we talk about, like, you know,
Yeah, but if
proper-
there was a
proper
zombie
judgment-
apocalypse around, I hope to God that Kai wouldn't get taken out. But
I don't want to talk about that. That's not the point. Ugh! Oh my god, I'm talking
thought
about
that's what you were
Don't talk about
saying.
that to me because I will cry.
I thought-
I'm too drunk. Don't you say that. It's not. I can't talk about
hey,
it.
you're telling me if you were in a zombie that's why I asked a lot of adults, like, if you had a kid and a zombie apocalypse broke out, would you go to school while they were having school and save them?
Yeah.
Yeah, period.
That's
you don't
'cause you're a parent.
understand.
Now, I would hope I'd have my kid trained enough to come back to me. Like, this is home base. You
See,
better make it back here.
and see, this is why I love that my son knows the way around town and everything else, but at the same time, I want to teach him, if anything crazy like that happens, survive at the school. Let me know where you are before your phone dies. Like, you always have
You
your
don't
phone
stay at
on
the
you.
school. The school is such a dangerous point to be at in a zombie apocalypse.
If it's not overrun yet, if it's just on the news
Oh no
and
no
stuff,
no! If a
if
zombie
it's
apocalypse is
overrun-
breaking out, the schools, any school, college, elementary, any schools,
he knows the way to the
any
house, then
hospitals break out really fast.
See, but the schools are gonna be the last ones to know about it because
No, they're the first
No,
ones.
they're
No.
not. That's why.
No.
That's why they get overrun because they're the last ones to know about
No,
it.
they're the
if
first
you're
ones.
If you're a good
The
parent,
zombie-
you know about
every
it before
movie I've ever
then.
watched. More than 50% of movies I've watched, school it breaks out in a school.
See, but that doesn't
It
mean
breaks
that
out
it's-
in a
Fucking
school.
shit. Name two movies right now that
Resident Evil.
that break out in a school.
Yeah, Resident Evil breaks out in a school.
That was a video game.
I need you to go on Netflix
Oh,
because
High School of the Dead? High School of the
High
Dead?
School of the Dead. Shut the. Isn't that a fucking
Anime.
fan service anime?
It's an anime,
Big titty bitches.
but still it breaks out in a
Shut
school.
the fuck up, dude.
I
Come
watch a
on.
lot of I watch Korean shows and Chinese and Japanese shows like that, and I
I'm
have
pretty sure
watched
Walking
one.
Dead broke out in school. Walking Dead.
It starts in a fucking hospital. It has nothing to do with a school. What?
So there's been other services, shows where they're broken out in zombie apocalypse at.
So what? The fucking zombie apocalypse just all of a sudden started in a school for no reason?
That's
saying-
not how it works.
I'm
That's the
confused.
thing.
Like,
Like, if we find out that this is happening and you forget that we're
Schools are
in Port
vulnerable.
Clinton.
Schools are
Okay,
vulnerable.
but we're in Port Clinton. You're saying that this is going to happen in California, Florida, Maine, New York, places
California's
like.
gonna burn the fuck down if it happens. That's
Swear to God.
for sure.
So, like, it's going to happen
They're
in those
burning the fuck
places.
down right now.
We're going to get notified, and if you're a good parent,
Nope, we're not gonna. You know why we're not gonna get notified? As soon as somebody's biting somebody next to you, the TV is gonna be like, "Hey, there's a zombie."
But if it's to that point already where the zombies
there's too
are
much
there,
social
I'm gonna
media
know
for you
about
to
it
think that
before
that's
then.
going to happen. Like, for a whole 24
it
hours.
all depends ultimately on
You're-
what type of zombie it is.
No. You're telling me
what
for
type
a
of
whole
zombie it is.
24 hours, things aren't going to go viral. Things go viral
Is it
in
Dawn of the
5
Dead zombies?
hours.
Is it Dawn of the Dead zombies or Night of the Living Dead zombies?
Regardless of what happens,
If there's running zombies, the zombie apocalypse will spread very quick.
there's billions of people on the earth, and I'm telling you, regardless, we are in a podunk little part of America, and it's not going to happen immediately. Things are going to be notified because
We
things are going
live
to
in
happen.
between big cities. What are you talking about?
We live in between big cities, so we're probably going to get a notification early. That's the point. Like, we're literally going to be like,
But then
shit's
there's the
fucking
crazy
happening. We need to
maniacs
get the
out-
fuck
there's the
out so we
crazy
go and we
maniacs-
get our kid.
All right. So a zombie apocalypse breaks out, less than 24 hours, there'll be like fucking crazy maniacs like what's the main TV movie?
Walking Dead.
Not the Walking Dead, not zombie. Where they kill.
My eyes twitching. I'm a little too drunk now. Oh my god. Whoa.
Whoa. Not the Plague. The Purge.
Oh, fuck!
So the Purge will happen 5 or 6 days while the zombie apocalypse is breaking out. So like, even if you do not have to worry about a zombie plague outside your place, the Purge is going to be happening.
I'm afraid that the Purge is going to happen beforehand.
You get what I'm saying right now, though.
Well, but I'm saying that, like, I literally think that the Purge is possible.
People are going to be robbing people for nothing.
Yeah, I think that that's possible before the zombie apocalypse because of everything happening in the
country. No,
country
I'm saying
right
if the
now.
zombie apocalypse broke out, you told me like, you have nothing to worry about when the zombie apocalypse. We have a couple of days to get it. No,
I'm not saying
the Purge is going to be happening before the zombie apocalypse gets to us.
But like, the Purge was like, the whole idea was that
everybody out for
it was
themselves.
controlled by the government.
Yeah, the whole idea was like you can do whatever, but on this one day, everybody could serve justice their own way.
A thing like the Purge.
So yeah, I'm gonna say I don't think that's gonna be like a zombie thing.
No. If
No,
the
see,
zombie
and, like,
apocalypse broke out
Mhm.
in Washington D.C. or some big city, and we had a couple days to know about it, the thing like the Purge would be happening where we are now.
I mean, like, that's super fair, but in the same aspect, that's why,
Maybe, people would probably freak out.
Freak out, riot, martial law would go into effect.
I don't know if it would be that.
martial law is almost in effect because Trump thinks that he can take hold of the National Guard and deploy them without the Supreme Court's
You
fucking
just combined
ruling.
3 different things.
Explain.
But no, do you know why he's taking control of the National Guard though?
And sending him into California for the
you
protests?
just hear that he did that and that everybody doesn't
Well,
like it?
Okay, I'm not mad. This is what I heard. The peaceful protests are happening. Police are enticing riots. And the reason why he took hold of the National Guard is because even though he knows that they're peaceful riots, he wants to control the media
What
and
news
the
channel
masses.
are you listening to?
Okay, you just said a peaceful riot. You can't have a peaceful riot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, peaceful protest. You're right. I'm so sorry. I'm too drunk. It's a
But see,
peaceful
that's
protest.
that's the thing.
We're just
like,
walking the
he's-
streets, not destroying anything, not doing anything. They're literally just walking
He
the
didn't
streets.
call the National Guard because of that.
Yeah, I would say he didn't call the National Guard, or like he didn't take control of the National Guard because of all the
He
peaceful
called the
protests
National
going
Guard
on.
because of actual riots.
Yeah, because of the protests that
and the
have
governor
gone past
and the state
peaceful,
governor
and the
was
governor-
not doing anything about it.
right. They're not. They just don't. Like they had.
He was
People
no. When he called the National Guard in, this is actual, like, you can read about it. When he called the National Guard in, there was riots happening. The state governor wasn't doing anything about it. He says, "I'm going to do something if you don't do anything about it." He continued for 24 hours not to do anything about it, and he sent the National Guard in.
I didn't know much about that, but I guess my question is, do you think that people listened for women's and black people and Mexican rights until people started truly causing an issue? If you're just sitting here being quiet, being nice, trying to do like little things, like it's almost as if like you're dealing with a narcissist. Like you literally have to fucking actually do something to make a difference. And I don't feel like the government thinks that we have a voice anymore. I think that they just want to do what they want to do, and so it makes it much more
Everybody has a
difficult.
voice.
I don't think that that's true.
Little to small, people make a big statement, they blow shit up. People have a voice.
in like the government, in our communities, yes, that's why I'm stuck on I just want to affect our community. But in the government at this point, I feel like everything is just controlled to the narrative of the 1%, the people who want to make sure that everything is working the way that they need to continue living their lives in the way that they'd like to see.
That's different. That's a different subject. You just mentioned two different subjects.
What did I mention? Sorry.
I don't know what you were. I don't know where you were.
She just
going,
mentioned
like,
two different subjects.
Well, I need you
way
to-
two different sides to the object.
Please explain.
You just mentioned way two different sides. Like, I think, but you're gonna have to re-elaborate.
He's less drunk. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know how much that fucking helps, but I don't know, man. You can't be violent.
Absolutely, 100%. I don't agree with that part.
But that's what I'm saying. The people that got violent, they weren't shut down because the government or the state government said, okay, this is enough. Like, they were shut. Like, these people that are the ICE agents, they're American people too. They're not just NPC players that the government has in holding. It's
Well-
not somebody they just picked to go out. Like, that's somebody's mom, that's somebody's dad. Like, they take an oath to the Constitution too. Like, you can't, like, you can disagree with what they're doing. You can protest what they're doing. We have that right. But we don't have the right to start throwing shit at people. Like, the government has that right to defend themselves. And if the governor of the state of California is not going to put a stop to people harming other people, I feel like the president of the United States has the authority to say, I'm going to stop this. Because
I
you are
agree.
not.
An example, I seen a video the other day. I don't know why it came across my feed, but it was like Border Patrol leaving a certain area. And it was like more than 130 vehicles. There was illegal immigrants, or I don't know who they were. They could have been random people. They were throwing hardcore big ass rocks at all the vehicles.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, I've seen some videos of that too. It's just like
I do.
whole squads of people like under like, I know people don't like what they're doing. People don't think that people should be deported this way, but attacking people is not the way to
Go about it.
But do you believe that, like, every single protest, every single situation going on out there is violent? Because
No.
I really, truly think that the government has a lot of control over showing
But him
people
sending the
that
National Guard in
things-
was not a bad idea.
I don't think he's not, but like, there's no videos of the government going in and just shutting down peaceful protests. Like, you're not seeing,
But
they're not going in and just being like, oh, you guys are peaceful, get the fuck out of here. It's
But see,
it's always where something happens and somebody gets arrested.
I mean, I've seen videos of peaceful protests, and then I have seen videos of that same exact area, but journalists and other people are being shot at with rubber bullets and other things when the exact same people over here...
They wouldn't be shot at unless they were doing something wrong.
But
I don't know if that's always true.
Can you tell me that there are not bad people in the police? Because this is the problem that we come across as
I don't think a police
there
force...
are
I would
bad
like to believe there
people in
wouldn't
the
be a police... It's not like
as
someone
well.
called them over an intercom and was like, shoot that person.
You
really-
don't know that, though. They
I'm
could've.
so glad. And I'm not saying that every person is bad, but if you believe that there are bad Mexicans, bad white people, bad black people,
There has to be
everything,
for
there
both sides
are
of the
bad-
spectrum. Both sides of the spectrum.
There are bad police, absolutely, 100%, and I think that there are still bad police.
Yes, there
who
is.
Are trying
But
to
I've met a lot of good
exaggerate-
police, too.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that there isn't, 100%. I know that there are good police. I think that there are
It showed-
bad
it showed
police
about
who
that
are
on American
helping
Gangster.
to exaggerate the situation is all I'm saying. I'm not saying that there aren't bad people who are literally trashing places. I know that there are illegal things. People are being dumb. Even my boyfriend, who is Mexican, has said
Allegedly.
he has said that there are stupid Mexicans doing stupid things because they don't know what the fuck they're actually fighting for. And so, unfortunately, there are bad apples in the bunch everywhere. They
So
are
deporting
angry.
people is not like they're not deporting.
It's not the most criminal thing you think it is. Obviously, I know that
Deportation is still a lot better. I would say 100% better. I'm not a Hitler supporter, but 100% better. Like, what if Hitler would have just been like, we're gonna deport all the Jews, and they don't have to live here anymore?
I mean, but
I'm just saying.
All right, Kanye, calm down.
But again, the only thing that I have a problem
We're
with...
not burning people.
I know we're not burning anybody.
We're just deporting them to somewhere else where they can survive.
But can they really survive there? They came here for refuge.
I don't know, man. I don't know. See, I don't agree with all the illegal stuff. Like, it did suck. But see, the whole thing, my biggest thing about it is it's gonna fucking suck. Because it happened in such large numbers, it's gonna suck. You gotta think about it, there's no other way that they're gonna get this shit done.
But do you think...
Unless they hit it hard and fast. Not saying it's a good thing that they're fucking cutting corners and, just rounding
It is a
people
fucked up
up
thing, like, if you're not absolutely white. Shit, like, there could be French people being deported and we not even know about it.
But I also don't think that it's right that you have lower federal court judges that are just blocking every fucking thing that dude does because they don't like it. Like, that's not actually how the shit's supposed to work. Like, the Supreme Court, not just a fucking lower district federal judge, the Supreme Court is supposed to be the judicial branch's check and balance.
But I've heard so many stories of
Which is not happening.
The Supreme Court of them telling him, you need to bring these people back, and those people are not back. He's just completely ignoring the Supreme Court orders. I would completely agree with what Trump was doing, but he has eliminated due process, and so the people who get caught up in this situation, I agree that there are a lot of people coming here illegally, and that is
in case your
the
mom ever
issue.
states.
But the people that come illegally and get caught up in the issue because they are brown is my only issue.
It's not because they're brown, no.
But see, that's where I just can't agree with that because being here illegally is a violation of the United States
It's a
law.
civil offense.
It's still it's a
federal.
violation. It's a violation of federal law to be
It's
here.
a violation of
illegally.
federal. It's a federal offense.
Yeah, I gotta say, being illegal and undocumented person is a federal offense, and like that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm not like, obviously. Can you just look that up for me, because I guess I've been misinformed, because I sincerely thought that it was a civil offense.
No.
Like, because, like, I know that, like, being here illegally, there's a lot of people who do take the time to try and do the test and get, their...
But there's a due process.
But he suspended due process, and that's why people are slipping through the cracks who are legal.
You just roundabouted the way for illegal aliens.
No, I'm not trying to say that illegal. I'm saying that people who actually have papers, who are born in America, are being taken and detained.
People born in America should not be deported.
But they're being deported. That's the problem.
No, I don't think that's the thing. Like that, they did not state that anywhere.
Well, I know because I know that media is very directed towards that, but my boyfriend is Mexican. I have been doing a lot of research and a lot of things about it, and I have seen so many horror stories of people who do have papers, families who are being broken apart because this person is legal, but they are being taken simply
Well, that's
because...
different. Like families can be broken apart if someone came over here illegally.
No, yeah, but there's been a lot of people...
That's why I made the joke earlier. Like,
See, look at this.
Well, this is weird. Okay, so up here it says being an undocumented or illegal immigrant in the U.S. is not a federal crime.
Not
in
a
itself.
federal.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying.
I mean-
It's weird. It says, but it's a civil violation.
I said that.
Okay, I
which is still
understand
federal,
that.
right?
Sorry, I'm not-
Civil offense. Unlawful presence in the U.S. is a civil offense under federal immigration law, primarily leading to deportation, removal. Criminal offenses. Specific actions related to unauthorized entry or re-entry into the U.S. are criminal offenses. For example, entering the U.S. without inspection and authorization is a misdemeanor of on the first offense,
Which
and
doesn't make
illegal
sense.
re-entry after deportation is a felony. So
That's
someone,
not a federal crime then.
no, entering the U.S. without inspection and authorization. So the illegal aliens that just jump the border, that's what that means, without inspection and authorization.
Yeah.
But it's a misdemeanor on their first offense. So if they get caught and get
And just send
deported,
right back as a misdemeanor.
and then
I mean,
illegal
can I just-
illegal re-entry after deportation is a felony. And then alien smuggling, harboring, or aiding unauthorized. Okay, so it would be like the first time you get caught, and I think that was a lot of what they were saying was happening. As a lot of people were just taking these crazy ass names, getting deported, and coming right back. I think they said that was a lot of what was going on. So it'd be like if you came over here illegally the first time, it's just a misdemeanor. But if you're born here, or what, I don't understand it. I guess it would be like if you were a kid and you were brought over here illegally. So it technically
That
probably
happens.
It technically probably.
But if
wouldn't
you're
be-
born here in America, you're a U.S. citizen.
yeah, I gotta say, I'm pretty sure that's still.
That's
a thing.
still a solid law from 200 years ago.
I
If
will
you're born
say-
here in America, you're a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
I will say,
That's why they would kill a lot of unborn mothers.
I will say I live in the Delulu. None of this, I mean, you can say that, but I don't believe that. You guys can say that all you want, but I don't believe that any of that is right. The people who came here and
No,
colonized...
it should not be right.
No, yeah, the
there's
people
a
who
should
came here
be,
and
there's a
colo-
should be, and then there's a possibility.
See, and the problem is, though, is that just like my mom said, that she thinks that there's nothing that we can do, that, you know, like there's nothing that can be done, as if she hasn't seen 100 years worth of crazy change in her own life. And I think that it is absolutely possible to stand up and make a difference because of how much change has happened in the 100 years that we've been
She
through.
said there was no change, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, she thinks that there's been no change. And, like, and there's so many people, though, that think that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am frustrated because, you know, we're talking about illegal this and illegal that. We are illegal. Every white person that you look at walking down the street on the sidewalk with their cute little babies are literally
you absolutely
illegal. None
believe
of
in
us
what-
belonged here in the first
No,
place.
but if you absolutely believed in what you believe in, aren't we all a child of Earth, and wherever we walk on Earth is our property? So there's no illegal immigrants then.
Okay, well, yes, 100%. That's actually where I was going at. All of us, that's what it makes me mad. If you ask me, people ask me what I believe in, and it's crazy
There
because
should be no borders, no borders.
That's what I was just about to say. No borders? Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. We should not have to literally have borders when none of us should have to pay or be like, oh, you don't belong here, you don't belong here. This whole earth is a fucking gift.
Recruit for cult. That was a joke.
This whole earth is a gift. There's no fucking way that we should have to say that you're an illegal, you're an illegal, you're an illegal. We all fucking belong here, bro. Like, Christianity is dead. If you literally believe that somebody is here and, oh, you don't like them because of this, you don't like them because of that, you don't like them because they're even a murderer, do you even believe the filtered Bible that you fucking believe that you have written today? Because he sat with murderers, he sat with rapists, he sat with these people, and you want to turn away someone because they just feel like they want to be a boy? Like, okay, you can not like that all you want. I really don't care. Regardless of whether you like it or not, Jesus would have sat with that person. He wouldn't have judged him, and that's the fucking point. Like, regardless, like, he sits with people who have been misjudged. Like, and it just frustrates me because...
That should have been in the Bible somewhere. Why wasn't that in the Bible anywhere?
What?
Actually, I'm pretty sure it was in the Bible somewhere.
What was in the Bible?
That males thought they were a significant other and they got stoned to death. I'm pretty sure that was in the Bible, yeah.
Like, I mean, I go a little extreme. It doesn't matter whether, you know, you believe that people should, you know, think that they're male or female. I just, the way that I'm going is that, like, no matter how people live, whatever religion, it doesn't make sense to me that people think that you don't belong one place or another. We're all human beings. We all bleed red. It's not about Arabic, Mexican, white, or this. It's about human rights.
Yes.
And that's what really boggles my mind, because we're all humans.
No mention of
We're
human
all
rights in the Bible.
humans. And it really just hurts my soul. I don't know. Like, I'm definitely a different type of star child. You may call me a conspiracy theorist or whatever you want to call me. And I understand I live in the Delulu in times, because I know that right now it is not possible. I know that 100%. I just think that it is fair to think that the butterfly effect is real. And that if, you know, the past generations have thought it worked for me, it'll work for them. If enough people think that they can make a difference and that they can change things for the better, that means that things can change for the better for the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. It's just frustrating to also think that there's a lot of evil people, and the view of what's better for the next generation is different within a lot of minds. It's very different. Is that accurate?
I think so.
Like, because there's a lot of people who have, you know, views for the future, and, you know, like the elites and the people that, you know, like govern us, they have a way of thinking that the way it should be, and we have a way of thinking the world should be. People who grew up in the 1970s have a way of thinking the world should be. But it's unfortunate because in this amount of time, things have changed so fast.
Fried chicken.
Faster than in any other time. Like, I was watching a video that said that it took almost 1 million years for things to originally change. 200,000 years for people to start hunting and gathering. And then it only took 200 years for us to go from that to the industrial period. And now we are so close to entering our next period, which includes
where we still
AI.
have fried chicken.
I mean,
well, I mean, we're not close to entering it. We're already in it.
That's the okay. Yeah, I mean, period. We can
With
talk about
fried
that.
chicken.
I'm just terrified, and I don't want to think about it because literally, I am so scared. I've seen so many videos. I don't even know how to talk about it. I've looked up so many things that Elon has said, so many articles and things about. I'm terrified. Like, have you watched the movies? Have you guys watched the movies? Because they're so accurate. It's unfortunate. You know that there's literally it's not a rumor. The AIs 70% of the time have shut down a kill command. They literally have gone through and rewired themselves to shut down their own kill command. That is fucking terrifying.
Terminator
for iRobot, Terminator, and everything else that they have showed us. It's unacceptable. I'm terrified. Anyways.
Well, you're going to have to be terrified a different time because we got to cut this. I got to go to bed.
Aww.
No. Some of us have to work in the morning.
I do too.
Whatever. I